What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
I like when you touch me.
I like that it's another Heather Gray shirt, but it's a Batman shirt this time.
If you open up my closet, it is. I have one shirt left with stripes on it. The rest of them are Heather Gray.
50 Shades of Heather Gray.
It is.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's a lot of different shades of Heather Gray, and I have all of them.
Over there, in another amazing shirt, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
This is what is this one called?
That is neon blue.
No, there was a weird name for it, and it was good. It was a good laugh for a while, but whatever. I like this shirt a lot.
I liked how Tim looked in that shirt until Kevin Koala. Lean in here and show him, everybody. Show him what's up, Kev. Yeah.
I hate Kevin so much. So yesterday, we get these two shirts, and one goes to me, one goes to Kevin, and I immediately this morning, I look at it, and I'm like, I want to wear it because I'm on camera, and it's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
Kevin's 100% wearing this shirt. Of
course.
I'm sure. And I walk in, he just is so excited. I'm like, I hate everything.
Well, we had
much.
that dialogue back and forth when I had ordered two of these, one for me, and you had asked for one, and Kevin said he had asked for one, and I was like, all right, well. I remember asking for one and saying, does anyone want one? One person said, yes, I want one. Kevin gave me the little pouty eyes, and he was like,
yeah.
In a similar cool shirt, Colin Moriarty, Pride of Long Island.
Go Islanders.
That's a PlayStation shirt. You can get that at the PlayStation Gear Store, whatever the hell it's called online.
Islanders coming for you. Pittsburgh and or Washington.
Or whoever the hell
play.
you end up facing in the playoffs. And then, our very special guest, ladies and gentlemen. It's been budding on the internet for quite some time. Raul Kohli. And I actually point out your shirt's awesome too. If you're watching, if you're listening, it's
Big
an
fan.
N64 shirt.
Retro, why not?
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, retro's what it's all about.
The right team as well, by the way.
We're getting
Big
old
fan.
when N64 is retro, right? Do you ever think of that?
N64 is retro as fuck.
yeah,
Colin.
N64 has been retro for like 10 years. Bruh.
So I'm just saying we're getting old.
I
was just
Retro
reflecting
after
that
the
I was
cube.
literally playing it in 11th grade or whatever, in 12th grade. That's I don't feel like I was that. I don't feel like that was that long ago, but I guess it was.
Did you all expand the memory when Turok?
Yeah.
You
to.
had to.
I remember explaining it to my parents that I needed this for Turok. It was the hardest sell ever, but I broke them.
Good. You got it done. You got that, Turok.
Now, Raul, of course, people know you from the hit CW show iZombie.
Yeah,
But I know you as one of the best friends. You're a fan of Kind of Funny.
I am.
You freaked out to meet me a long time ago.
I did, but I shouted beyond.
You're allowed to say that.
Oh, okay, cool.
If Colin or I say it, we owe IGN a nickel. But other people can say it to us. That's fine.
Yeah, we were just shipping around the pilot. We just did that, and we were at Comic-Con, and IGN were interviewing us, and I saw you and just graciously shout beyond, and that was it.
And a friendship was formed.
Done. And 2 years later, we did the video we said we'd do.
Yeah. You
got around
finally
to
did
it.
good. You're busy, and we'll hear all about that. But first, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can get episodes early. You can get exclusive access. You can get cool perks. If you have no bucks to toss us, though, it's okay. Head to youtube.com/kindoffunny, where you can get the show broken up topic by topic, day by day, until the entire thing posts the following Friday is one big video, an MP3.
What was that? Good episode.
We nailed it. No.
Crushed it.
So, I don't understand you. So, like, you're one of these types that I don't like.
Okay.
You're good looking,
Yeah.
successful TV show,
Super tall.
beautiful girlfriend,
Hot.
and then you like video games too, apparently,
Yeah.
and you're popular on the internet. How did all this start? What are you doing? Where does your story begin, Raul?
Super Nintendo, and then everything just sort of fell into place. I was a gamer, like I before I can remember anything. I just remember playing games. In London, it's raining all the time, so outdoor activities are kind of
Nobody does that.
yeah, except the summer. That's it. You're not doing anything. So I just I wanted to be in the gaming industry, but I wasn't smart enough.
Oh, trust me, you don't need to be. Look at us.
But this wasn't the whole streaming thing. That wasn't
Yeah,
the thing.
sure.
Like, if you wanted
New.
to be in games back in the day, you had to. I always
to
thought it
make
was just code. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was always like this. I guess the kind of main foundation of my life. And then I just fell into acting at about 18. I wanted to be in Star Wars. I wanted to be in the prequels, but they weren't made then.
Okay.
By the way, I didn't know
You
what
saw
I was.
episode
I didn't
one,
know.
and you're like, I gotta get an episode
yeah,
two.
exactly. So I had no idea what I
He
was.
saw episode 1. He's like, I gotta look into this video game dream again.
But yeah, and then 10 years later, after not working and auditioning, iZombie came along, and then my character, they made a gamer, and then all of it just sort of came together, and then now I'm kind of represent gaming, even though I don't have any kind of finger in making them or anything.
Sure.
Just a hobby.
You're just a fan,
Just a big fan.
but you're one of the popular fans out there. They can give you stuff on the Twitter. They can talk to you on Twitter.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We can talk.
So I feel
Just not about PC Master Race stuff. Don't
No,
come at me
don't
with
do
your
the
nonsense.
PC stuff.
It's your favorite topic, though.
Colin, have you
What?
updated your drivers?
I fucking hate PC.
Updated your drivers.
PC gaming is the worst, dude. I was reminded of that when I went and tried to play Homefront: The Revolution this week, and they were running on PCs, and lo and behold, the PC we selected didn't work, so Kevin and I didn't get any footage and didn't get to play the game. They just brought a fucking PlayStation 4. I bet you it would have worked. But, I digress.
After a couple firmware
PC
updates.
gaming.
The firmware updates aren't that bad.
They're fucking horrible.
You know
Craig.
they're good. Your internet's terrible. You can't throw that.
That's
Your
my
PC
thing.
would be
my
just
internet
as bad.
isn't terrible. My
Yeah,
internet's just not good, and that's the problem. Is that I need to wait hours to do an update. Last night I was trying to play Ratchet and Clank. Freaking disaster. I ended up playing, but then I was up till like 3.
Firmware, the 3.5 on PS4 took me literally like 25 seconds to download and install.
Yeah, it took me about an hour and a half.
Now, see,
actually
he's
an hour
going
and a
to
half.
Suckers.
Raul, I'll talk to you. He's throwing out there that his internet's not bad. It's just not good, right?
Okay.
Ask him if he's able to upload videos for Kind of Funny at his
You
house.
upload videos for Kind of Funny.
No,
At your house.
you know why?
Why?
Because they're like we are the only people in the world uploading hour and a half, sometimes 2 hour long YouTube videos.
Are you using dial-up?
No, it's not. It's not. It's just freaking. It's Comcast. God bless Comcast. It's
28.
motherfuckers.
There's no way it's Comcast.
It seems like it's your fault.
No, it's direct.
If I'm being honest.
Maybe you're being
It's not my
throttled.
fault.
Yeah, are
Trust
you being
me.
throttled? Is
Are they
Colonel
throttling you?
downloading a lot of stuff?
I hate you all.
Is Colonel and
hate
Sherry
you all so
downloading
much.
Are there
things?
dogs using the
dogs are
computers
definitely
too?
using it. Yeah.
Okay, back to you, Raul. Do you really credit gaming with being like getting you on this path to where you are? You say
Oh,
it starts with Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, for me, I can't even watch TV or film. Really,
Don't say that you're on TV.
I know it's tough. I don't really watch. I find it's too hard for me to engage with. It doesn't keep my attention. I need far more kind of stimulation from my art. And so for years, gaming is the only thing I could do where I'm not falling asleep. You know what I mean? Everything else just puts me to sleep, or I feel quite lethargic doing it. Whereas with gaming, I've always sort of taken to storytelling with way more interaction. So I literally am in this industry, but it's not my chosen kind of, acting and...
When you say this to other actors, do they get pissed off at you?
No, they just count me as a nerd. They just write everything off. They're like, and I don't like theatre. I like acting, but that doesn't mean I have to enjoy TV and film as like what I... Like a lot of people will be actors, but they love music and they'll play guitar, or for me, it's gaming. And there are things now that are happening where I'm kind of segueing into performance in gaming, like conversation.
You want to announce your first? You want to announce your first role in a video game?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Nothing, but there's conversations. Like there's been VO, like talks of VO and things like that. And yeah, I'd love to do that.
What would be your dream? Like, what game do you want to be involved with?
Oh, it just Red Dead 2. Well, that's not really Red Dead 2, Red Dead 3, but you
The
know,
next
like,
he
Red
knows
Dead.
stuff. He knows stuff.
But like that was, I don't know why. I that speaks to me, and I love Telltale. I think the performances you get, the voice acting there is always stellar, and I kind of always thought iZombie would work really well as a Telltale game. But that would be a bit of a dream for me, and also just like having your face in it. Because Game Face on EA or whatever that wasn't.
No, that's not the dream.
Did not happen.
No.
That's not the
I had a
dream.
black neck. and I
Back in
had
Tony
one-
Hawk's Underground 1, when you could like send them a picture of your face and they'll put it on your creative skater. Nah,
Yeah.
that wasn't me.
No, that's not really
That was
how
some
it's
weird
supposed to go.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But I gotta, Troy Baker's up there doing everything.
Sure. He
He needs a rival,
He
but I'm just
does.
not talented enough to be that guy. Someone out
But
there.
you could
is.
just tell people that you are, and people will be like, "Oh, that's his rival," and
true.
then they'll believe it. You just got to fake it till you
Yeah.
make it. I feel like you could set up a nice rivalry
Yeah,
between
all right,
them.
between
Troy
Troy and
Baker.
him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Let's get it going.
Troy, you suck.
Yeah,
Rivalry
Fuck you,
established.
Troy.
I will say that there's no shame in not consuming the content that you make. You know, like I don't watch. I've really never listened to a gaming podcast. I don't watch YouTube videos. I don't watch Let's Plays. I don't really even understand why anyone would watch a Let's Play. I mean, that's just, I've said that before in the past, but it's huge. Like, so I just understand that I'm totally not in tune with what most people like. And most people like watching TV, but you don't like watching TV. Yeah. So like, I think that's totally acceptable if you make the content and you don't necessarily consume it. I actually think it gives you an interesting perspective. And I said that a few weeks ago on the show about when we were talking about Rooster Teeth and our collaboration with Rooster Teeth. Like, I don't know anything about them until I went down there and learned from them, but doesn't mean we can't make the content valuable.
Of course.
I think actually your shit's not tainted, so you don't have any expectations of what it should be like.
Yeah, and it's original, right?
Yeah.
You're not basing it on anything. And yeah, I agree. I don't think it's completely necessary. I remember when I was at drama school, I was shunned for not enjoying theatre.
And they looked at
didn't
you and they're
have
like,
to.
you're British.
Yeah,
You should totally, don't you have your own opera glasses?
But I loved being in Richard III. I loved playing Henry V. I don't enjoy watching a 3-hour show where some other person's doing it. It's fucking boring. And you can't you can't move. And I always get nervous I'm going to cough and put the performance. I just hated theatre, but I just gaming's just always and I don't even enjoy multiplayer gaming.
No, you're in good company here.
Really good company.
And when everything went internet based and now I have to social, I used it as a way to shut off from the world, and now everything I play is forcing me to
pop
engage.
Up. You got players close to you. This is happening.
We're in division and Greg's over there. I'm like, I don't want to talk to Greg Miller, man.
Yeah,
Nobody does. Well, that's I definitely
I sent you a request actually.
Did you?
It was an accident. I didn't mean to. I just tried to look at your player and I ended up.
Oh, we should totally go out there. Well, are you 30 yet?
I'm like 6.
But that's my problem with like I tried to play the division. I'm like, this is turning into another job. Like there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of stuff that comes along with having to play a game like that. You have to get a bunch of friends together. You have to go on missions and shit and try to achieve stuff. And I'm like, I don't want this.
Play a game.
No, but it's more than just playing a game, right? It's more than just sitting down and like you said, just turning off the rest of the world and just immersing yourself in this. Like your friends are there. You're going to talk, and it's a different experience. And so I sympathize with that. I sympathize with your not wanting to watch TV because I'm getting really burned out on TV a lot. There's some great shows, don't get me wrong, and there's still some really great TV happening out there. But even the stuff that I really look forward to, like we had the sorry to mention it, but the rival zombie show, the season finale, Walking Dead, on our DVR last night, and my wife was like, "Do you want to watch it?" I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I know what's gonna happen. Maybe there's some hope, but then eventually they're just gonna fucking wind up in a horrible situation. And like I've seen it before. It happens every season finale. This is the 5th one or 6th one, 7th one. What the hell season are they in?
That's what happens when you're watching a show that's not about anything, which is why I stopped watching The Walking Dead 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, for the record, I think that's what's happening anytime you're not watching a BBC show, because every American show will continue to happen and happen and happen and happen until no one's watching.
But this conflicts with me because I grew up watching like my biggest influence was like Ricky Gervais's and Steve Merchant's The Office. Sure. I mean, you got something like 12, 13, 14 eps done. The whole thing's just put to bed. Luther's the same thing.
You love Luther.
Yeah, it's great, right? But then as an actor, I want 22 episodes of iZombie for 10 years. Of course. I want that big bang money.
You want,
so it conflicts with, again, so that's why, like, when we talk about consuming, like, your profession and what you enjoy, they can be disjointed because as a viewer, I don't really want to see 22 episodes, 10 seasons of a show. As an actor, I definitely want that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, it depends on the show, obviously. I vacillate, I go back and forth. If it's Law & Order, I want that show to continue forever.
But that's different, right?
And I know it will.
Because there's
a comforting level to the familiarity.
But Law & Order was rarely about, like, what Stabler's family is doing. There was like a little bit of it, but what I loved about Law & Order is you could jump around on the Netflix every one of them.
I'm still watching
it. Doesn't matter. Whereas like watching Walking Dead, you're going to jump ahead and see, oh, well, that guy's dead. What happened there? And da, da, da.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely not like a main story happening throughout the entire season of any of the 20 some odd seasons of any of the Law & Orders. But I mean, for that, I'm like, that is exactly the experience I'm talking about. When I watch Law & Order, I'm like, I'm tuning into Law & Order to just shut myself off from the rest of the world. I just want to watch this. And more often than not, I'm actually not watching it. It's just noise. And I've got my iPad in front of me and I'm Googling what the hell else. I don't know. Something completely different on IMDb.
It sort of seems like, and I do enjoy The Walking Dead. I loved what I've seen. I just haven't caught up. But it does seem like it's kind of turning into CSI in that respect, where it's not procedural in that respect, but in terms of like just it going on forever.
Yeah.
And then having spin-offs in different cities.
Yeah.
And I think
based around the same kind of idea.
Fear the Walking Dead was a missed opportunity.
Definitely.
Should have been Fear the Walking Dead LA, and then season two should have been Fear the Walking Dead Chicago, and it should all start from as the outbreak starts to happen.
Or not even that, just different time frames. I feel like it should have just been contained stories.
Well, they got the one on the airplane. We finally got the conclusion to that last night. The big reveal.
What happened? I didn't see it.
You didn't see that part?
No, just ruined it for me.
No, it wasn't. I mean, they show the plane like going down, and then it cuts to Fear the Walking Dead when Nick, the character, is like, he looks up and he sees a plane in the sky. And I think that was pretty much the only tie-in. I could be wrong.
The show for you?
No,
it's not a spoiler.
He's spoiling
an online
the interstitial
commercial show that would play that every week we'd get 30 more seconds, and it was freaking garbage. It was the worst. Worst.
It was like you can go online and see the whole thing now.
It was the worst production value I've ever seen. I couldn't believe that Walking Dead had that.
I thought it looked cool. I just think that's not a great way to tell a story like The Walking Dead. Like, in 15-second snippets every other week because sometimes they miss a week and sometimes, you know.
I remember the first
it's
night
hard to get emotionally involved
when they
with the character at
debuted
least once a
it
week.
in the original Fear the Walking Dead, right? Is that how long it's been going? When the first one went up, I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. And I went on to YouTube expecting the rest to be there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And I was like, fuck this. This is a terrible
Yeah,
idea.
no, and so one of the characters, I don't know which one, I think it's the Asian girl, is
Yeah.
going to be in for The Walking Dead now.
I thought the plane just crashed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it didn't crash. You just see it.
Oh.
It may have landed.
She was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
When she was up to, you don't watch TV. So
We don't know what's going
Y'all
on.
a bunch of nerds. What I was
y'all got that nerd.
So wait, hold on a
No,
second.
go, you
What
go,
I was
you
gonna say about what Raul was saying is, I think if more people were honest, they'd come to the same admission. I bet you there are a lot of actors at the Academy Awards every year that don't watch fucking shit, and I don't.
Oh, there's probably a lot of actors that don't even watch their own movies.
I don't blame them because it's like it's the way I feel about games. It's like we do this every day, and so I don't want to live this in this world all the time, like at all. Like I am not even remotely interested in living in the gaming world all day. So it's I think it's totally healthy for an actor to not necessarily consume that. I think it's healthy for someone in the gaming space to, like, I like to read and play music and listen to music and just go fuck off, you know.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you on that one.
yeah,
'cause
so I think
worked-
that's healthy.
One of my favorite jobs ever was I think I was 17. I worked at the UK version of GameStop. And it was like, you could take games home. All we did was talk about games and sell them and play them. Last thing I wanted to do when I went home was play games.
Yeah.
It kind of killed that for me. And that's why I didn't take that job at that strip club as a barman. When anything becomes work,
You do not want to ruin that.
you just lose
That's why I never
interest
shot
in-
porn.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it's important. It's important to diversify.
Yeah, it's hard too. I mean, even with me, like I love internet videos so much. It's like, when's the last time I've watched something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm too busy making it, and it's just like then when I get home, like I don't want to
But
watch
see,
other
that's
people's shit.
it's actually weird. I've had the opposite, right? It's like the slow draw back to internet videos for me has been doing this and then watching, like taking podcasts that are now internet videos. Like, you know how obviously groups like us do video podcasts and you'll listen to them on iTunes. Now I've been actually going home, stopping it there and starting it on YouTube, which is trippy for me. I've never actually done this before, but I'm like, I don't want to turn the TV on anymore to get that traditional experience that I've had my entire life. I want to keep hearing what these guys have to say about the next Conor McGregor fight. There, boom, there it is, right? And I just sit there and watch. And then I feel kind of weird. My wife will come home and I'll be like, I got to switch it back over to the Golden Girls or something so she doesn't think I'm weird for watching YouTube for like 2 hours. I got to wear a lot of weird shit going over here. And I do like the Golden Girls still. Don't fucking judge me.
No, but this
you're
is
The Golden
beard.
Girls is awesome.
But as a
Girls is
sentence,
dope,
it's
everybody
like, I
knows.
don't want her
Talk shit about
judging
the
me,
Golden
so
Girls.
I'm
I
gonna
dare
do
you.
that. I don't know.
Because
Whatever.
the Golden Girls is classic.
You,
and how
Nick.
dare you?
The Golden Girls is like one of the great shows of, like, in terms of from a writing perspective of all time. A lot of people that wrote on that show went on to write some major shows.
Yeah, Tim.
I'm gonna be
I think it's
completely
Hemingway.
honest. I don't know if we've talked about this on the show before. We must have, but Golden Girls. I know it's a thing. Never watched it growing up. Just I think the time. The eras was a little off there. So my first real introduction to the Golden Girls was was it your wife's birthday?
No, it was Christmas. I think. Oh, it was my wife's birthday. That's
Yeah.
right, because she's her birthday's near Christmas.
So for your
Sorry.
wife's birthday, you brought her and me and Alexis, was it?
Alexis and I think Eric and Jen came
Yeah.
as well. And Migs came, I think.
We went to
I took a big group out to the Castro where they do every year they pick 2 episodes of the Golden Girls and they do a stage play of it, but it's all guys.
So it's like drag queens as
Yeah.
the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Doing the just 2 episodes, and it was fucking fantastic.
Genius.
Golden Girls is awesome.
Yeah, it's just
Genius.
like,
Never seen it.
oh, dude,
Get the
see,
fuck
I'm
out.
right there with you. You should come next
This
year.
is why your
around
acting
Christmas.
is subpar.
But I've played Nino Cooney, so I can swings and roundabouts.
See, that's the weird thing for me. And I guess not weird, but we've talked about it before. Is like video games are my preferred entertainment source as well, right? And I think it's what Colin talks to all the time is the fact that you only have so many hours in a day to do whatever you want to do, and so it'll be that I watch what's on the DVR while I cook or eat. But as soon as I'm done cooking or eating, it's like I turn it off or I pause it. You know what I mean? That's why it takes me like days to get through one episode of a show because I don't have that investment. I'd rather go invest that in The Division or in
Yeah,
Enter
you
the Gungeon or
prioritize.
whatever. Exactly.
Yeah, last night we watched Greg and I made dinner together. I stayed
Pizza.
here.
I saw the post.
Did pizza.
You're a true,
and,
true friend. I love you.
we watched the Justice League versus Teen Titans, and you were getting a little antsy.
I was. It was a long movie, and it definitely dips. There's definitely some dips in it where I'm like, all right, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But it was still fun. I just drank more.
I played more video games last night than I have in
You're a monster.
I don't even remember how long. Where I just played like just a little bit of everything because of my internet situation, it was kind of a nightmare.
Because your internet is bad.
While I was downloading,
It is not just the
it's
PSN's
admittedly-
fault.
It's admittedly bad. Oh yeah, whatever. That sucks as well.
The
too.
firmware isn't the problem. It's your internet.
So I played Kingdom Hearts, the mobile game that just randomly came out, which
Yeah.
is awesome. I played through the Final Fantasy 15, the demo, the platinum demo, which is absolutely horrible. Played a bit of Star Fox because we got that, and then I played Ratchet and Clank. So I was like, holy shit! I spent about 6 hours total playing games. I'm like, this feels good.
Wait, so the Final Fantasy 15 demo is not good?
Dude, it's so bad.
I can't believe it.
It's we'll talk about that on Gamescast. That's the thing for another time. But
Do you at least get to ride one of those chocobos?
no, absolutely not.
No, it's
Why
just
not?
a dream
That'd be
sequence.
amazing.
Anything of substance in the demo. It's
Man, I want to ride those big chickens.
I really wanted to play the demo. I was gutted.
dude, the demo's bad. The game, I'm so stoked for the game. I think the game's gonna be great.
yeah.
The
You hosted something.
We both did, yeah. We both did the Uncovered event.
Yeah, no, we did that, and then that's my problem is everything they showed. I was like, fuck yeah, man. I'm sold for the 10th time on this game. Like I can't wait for this. Can't wait to get home and play the demo. And I played it. I'm like, oh god, this is bad. Like it's just
That kind of makes me feel good.
It's a
because
tech
I
demo.
couldn't get to it. So
Yeah,
now
you-
you
no,
know-
No, you still got to play it because you want Carbuncle in the game.
No,
And you can
it's-
name him Portillo.
I named mine Portillo.
Damn right. Give me a pen.
Yeah,
there it is.
you go.
Love
But
you.
it's
Best
it's-
friends.
I think I beat it in 28 minutes.
I got that.
So it's short. It's there's not much there at all.
You know, I was going to say something earlier about like multiplayer. I think when I shat on it a little bit, like one of the biggest positives that came out for me with multiplayer was because we film and obviously my whole family are in London. FaceTime calls, right? They kind of changed everything for people who travel and stuff like that. Like people who want to see their families. Gaming has become my new FaceTime. Being away from friends and family, my girlfriend especially, we will schedule a time during the week where we play either Battlefront or something, just anything really, together while talking, and it's just completely it's closed the distance between us, and that's been amazing. Like one of the positives to come out of new generation and stuff is just how easy it's been to just sit, like to game with someone when I'm 5,000 miles away, and that's been a huge positive of that. And yeah, we love it.
As they've shoehorned it into stuff, it is that, oh god, this is that multiplayer. This is always online. But when it's that thing that works, you know what I mean? Like right now, the Division works for me and Fran. I'm talking to Fran as a friend for the first time in my life. Like Fran's always been a friend, you know what I mean? But like this is the first time where I'm like caught up on Fran's daily life and we're talking, and then we went to a bachelor party together and it was like, oh yeah, it was like we picked up where we left off, even though we left off 2 days ago, kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
I love you, Fran.
but I like who's playing Uncharted multiplayer?
Boy boner.
That
Back it
feels
off.
shoehorned, you know?
Yeah.
Some people are playing Uncharted multiplayer somewhere.
Colin's out there.
No, Colin would never.
You like the Last of Us multiplayer? Is that what it is?
I love The Last of Us multiplayer.
Yeah.
But that was just for trophies.
I did that for trophies, but I ended up liking it. I played it for like 45 hours.
I loved Red Dead's one.
Sure. Yeah. Get everybody together, ride horses.
Yeah, we were. I just remember Wild Fever food. Like I've got the weirdest plant name stuck in my head from when we had to get every plant. Me and my boy Aaron did everything that we had to do, every hunting exercise. Yeah, that was my favorite.
So is it weird now being this gamer who still just wants to play games, but you're this famous guy who has to go up to Vancouver and split your life, and you're doing this, and you're torn away from your family?
Oh, I'm not remotely famous.
You're famous.
No,
you're on the
not in the
CW. You
slightest,
kidding me? You're gonna make that Tom Welling money.
It's kind of maybe I just don't overthink it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's all just happened in quite a big rush. You know, I was literally living at my parents' house till I was 28. And I was becoming that kind of, not to my family, but to other extended family. So that joke, you know,
Sure.
he's still trying to act and he's making like £200 a month. But I was always quietly confident. I don't know why. I just always felt like, yeah, it's going to blow up. It's going to happen. It's going to be a whirlwind. And then it did. And then within a few months, I met Mike Tyson and he was giving me punching advice at Comic-Con. And I was like,
Nice. Yeah.
I should have freaked out, but for some reason, everything,
You're like,
I don't
no,
know,
this
it's just
feels
such a
right.
weird ride that I was like, all right, well, that's happening now. and then I met you and I watch you guys, I used to watch you and Colin so much like on IGN and stuff when you guys like, it's all just been, I don't know, like even sitting here now, I just, rather than overthink it, I'm just like, yeah, well,
This is the
this
daily
is awesome.
life.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. And I spent 28 years with my friends and family. I spent 28 years in London.
It's time to get away from
Yeah,
it.
it's time to just branch out and see what everyone else has to offer.
So then, catch me up on that. How does that happen? You're 28. You're in London. You're in this shit bag. Your parents hate you. Family hates you. Nothing's going right. So did you just send in an audition for iZombie? Or, I mean...
No, it all started because of 24. So they were shooting in London. I think John Boyega was on that one. And I went up for a casting, and I always shit talk this casting. it was awful. Like I didn't get my audition, my sides, till I was outside the casting person's house. So they apologized for the mistake, but then were dickheads to me when I was reading for it. So I came out of this audition flustered and angry, like I can't be doing this anymore. They treat us so badly. Like I don't know how much I've got left. I called my agent. He was like, cool.
Thanks, agent.
Yeah. All right. We got this thing called iZombie for you, and this was a Friday, and I was so angry with just that. I almost took it out on iZombie, and I worked so hard that weekend on this audition for like literally just out of aggression and frustration. Monday, I went into an office and they put me on tape and sent it to LA, and then by Friday, they cast me as the part. It just literally happened in a week. I remember I was playing FIFA. And I had to turn the phone upside down because I kept thinking every flash on the screen was someone calling to say I got it. I was in the running for it. And eventually, it literally all happened in 1 week. And then that was it.
So that was a good week.
It was a great week.
So you get cast for that. Then you said you did the pilot, right?
Yeah.
And then so the series hadn't been picked up at that point. You were just going to do a pilot.
And I'd never done a pilot before, and I didn't realize how many pilots get rejected. I didn't know, 6 get made, 7 get made per network, and 2 get picked up. And,
So you got the job and immediately started calling your family and like, fuck you, uncle. I knew this was going to
immediately go to the Lamborghini dealership.
Yeah. And had no idea, this could just I could have just done the pilot, and that would have been
So
it.
how far, walk me through this then, how far between the pilot and then the series being picked up?
So we shot the pilot in March. And the series.
You flew to Vancouver for that?
I flew to Vancouver, yeah, and then I flew back home, and then May was the announcement.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but we go through this all the time. We're still going through it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. I thought once you get on TV and unless you're the Flash, they're cool. They know they're going to keep going because they're great viewership, great ratings. They're doing a great job. Whereas with us, while the show's been received really well, we still are on the fringes of the ratings kind of thing and the way that works. So even now, after 2-3 years, and I'm still trying to buy that Lamborghini.
Yeah, get that Lambo.
We're all waiting did we get our season pickup? And so we're still going through the same roller coaster that we had at the pilot.
Does it still work the same? Where because I know that prior to sort of the internet and Netflix and all that stuff, people would always say you have to hit 3 seasons to get picked up for syndication. And
I thought it was 100 episodes, wasn't it?
It was 100. I think that's been reduced.
Oh, really?
I think someone said, don't quote me on it. I think someone said it's now 60 for syndication.
So
they've lowered the bar.
Is that still sort of a goal? Is that a great goal for you to have? Look, as long as we get to that, at least I know my career can.
Yeah, I mean, there's this weird, everyone has this weird way of looking at it and I don't really understand the ins and outs of it, but once you get to a certain point, it actually makes more financial sense to invest in another season just to keep the syndication going. And we just got confirmed for season 3. But again, I mean, thank you.
One more step to the Lambo.
Nice.
Right, exactly.
Now, will it be a yellow Lambo or a purple?
It's going to be
Lambo?
the one that Bale had in Dark Knight.
Oh, that was a dope ass Lambo.
Nice.
Why not?
Lambo.
It's
Why
the
not?
closest to the Batmobile you can buy.
You think
I
so?
could buy the Tumbler, actually. I bet.
Well, you could buy any of them.
You
But
got that
I don't want the
Lambo
new
money.
one. That shoots people. Sorry, bro.
Shots fired.
Literally.
But that's exciting though. So, and then it's just been what is a normal week for you like? Because you live in Vancouver currently, right? And then once you're on hiatus, you go back to London.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many days are you on set for this?
I mean,
or does it just vary?
It all depends. Because we obviously have our studio, and that has 3 or 4 locations that we use the most. If an episode means that the minute I'm outside, that just becomes an extra day on your week. So the minute my character's seen at a crime scene, I know that's okay. Well, that's a day. And then if he happens to go somewhere else, like at a coffee shop, that's 2 days. So it can just turn into, if I'm just in the morgue, I'll be on set maybe 2 days, 3 days. That's it, and I'm out.
And then the rest of the time you just spend, and what I imagine they got all of the CW people a giant building, and you guys all just hang out with each other, and you're all best friends.
That'd be a reality show.
All best friends.
The pilot's great because the pilot, everyone goes to this fancy hotel and the first day I got there, I opened the door for Harrison Ford.
Oh, that's fun.
And I nearly, I literally shit myself. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And they had this bougie hotel, but the minute you're picked up for a season, you go find your own place.
Yeah.
And pay your rent.
That's
So we
not
all
good.
dotted around and we're all sort
Really?
of taken
That
over.
fucking sucks.
Well, I mean, it's a job.
They'll
though.
compensate you for it, but you
get
just
paid.
don't get the hotel anymore. That's all. But we all live, it's kind of a funny place, Vancouver, because we're all downtown, so you'll just see sort of Grant chilling somewhere, or you'll bump in. You go to a drinks in the nighttime, and you'll see someone from Supernatural. Like everyone's out. There's like 20 shows.
The CW cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Is just
Yeah,
taking
they're all
over
just right
Vancouver.
there.
But also we
One
had
Tree Hill's chilling somewhere.
we had
Retirement home.
Yeah.
Well, he's on our show, One Tree Hill.
Well, yeah, some of them.
Buckley, he played Clay.
That's awesome.
Did you not know? Oh,
No,
well, yeah.
I don't. I'm not.
We
too
have some
familiar.
One Tree Hill people from
Hell
there, but
yeah.
Tim
but we
loves
also
One Tree
have
Hill.
like we had Minority Report out there. We like it's not just the CW. I think
No,
well,
everything
I mean,
shoots
everything
everything
out
shoots
there.
in
yeah,
Vancouver,
yeah.
That's crazy. So how many months out of the year are you there then?
Depends on the episodes. This season 2, we were there for 8 months.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
a sizable time. So you basically live there, and then
Pretty much, yeah. And then I couldn't, like the weather in Vancouver, I couldn't just go straight back to London because I was just trading the same weather for the same. So I
Yeah.
came to LA and just chilled out there for a
How do
bit.
you like LA versus London versus Vancouver? Or you don't have to answer that
I
question.
don't like LA.
Really? A lot of people don't. If you're a transplant, a lot of people don't.
As soon as
like
I
LA.
drove into San Fran, I felt at home. It has such a European vibe here.
The weather's
Same
very
weather
similar.
there.
The red,
Yeah.
the weather's similar. There's just a real nice culture here, and everything just looks great. And Vancouver's identical to that. This also feels like Vancouver. I mean, it just does, except the whole up
The
down
hills.
hills and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, whereas LA's completely different, and everything's spaced out. And being someone who walks everywhere in London, knowing that just to go to a Starbucks, some people have to get into cars. It's just it's
Yeah,
just a
no
bit too
shit about
spaced
that.
out.
We were down there doing some stuff when they were at the Final Fantasy event. We stayed an extra day to do some other stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna go for a walk for Starbucks. And there was a Starbucks a block and a half away from me, and there was one about, I think it was 8 blocks down. And I'm like, I'm gonna be the better man here. I'm gonna do the 8 blocks down. But blocks in LA are not city
Yeah,
blocks.
they're not the same
It was a
blocks.
mile and a half.
Yeah.
I'm like, I actually thought about calling an Uber to just get me there and then wait for me and then bring me back. But I soldiered on. I made it. You guys will be happy to know I got my Starbucks.
I'm glad. I was worried about it. You actually getting it.
But yeah, and that's the thing, because every time I go down there, it's nice to visit.
Yeah.
But living in LA,
But there are some great places. I know, like my buddy lives in Santa Monica, and just that little pocket, that area is just, you just got to know where to be. And because I'm an idiot, I always stay in Hollywood,
yeah, chaos.
right next to like the main place.
Yeah.
And so it's always a little bit of a sensory attack. And
But a bunch of people dressed as Elmo and Buzz Lightyear out
and
there
people
trying
were
to.
stopping me with Spider-Man costumes. But it's, the weather's a great trade-off. I mean,
Sure.
they have incredible weather, and they bitch when they have one day of cloud. I want to be that guy.
We
You are
bitch
that
here
guy.
when it gets too
I
hot. It
am
was
that
too
guy.
hot the last couple
It's
of
too
days.
hot right now.
It's
You
fine
notice
now.
that? No, it got
fuck,
hot.
son.
It got hot outside. It's too hot.
Dude, yeah, no, it was like record highs in SF.
But he's saying today it's too
no,
hot. Today's fine.
Today's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
just walked.
fucking
When I was looking for, I was
fantastic.
on my
Yesterday?
pilgrimage looking for
2
relish.
days
It was
ago,
too
yeah.
hot. Too hot.
What's Grant Gustin like? Is he cool? He seems like he's really cool.
Don't ask that
He likes his
question.
dogs. I
He's
like a
babe.
dog.
He really is like since the day I met him, he's the sweetest dude. He really is. Like they say you shouldn't meet your heroes.
Sure.
Anyone who's a fan of The Flash should meet Grant.
Should meet him.
He's the best.
Okay, cool.
He really is.
Who sucks? Who from the CW sucks and you hate?
Sucks in CW. Oh, David Anders. Everyone's just so sweet. It really is. I have nothing.
So now you're a go with the flow guy.
Mm.
So is for you, if, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen, if iZombie went away,
Mhm.
what would the plan be? Would you go to LA? Would you go to New York? Would you try to do video game VO stuff? What I mean,
I'd go to LA.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I just want to be on screen.
is this one of those things like now you have a foothold, right? Like now you have like
I'm
a
sure
body
now,
of work.
Yeah, I'm sure now a move to LA and going around the circuit would be,
A different
a
experience.
different experience if I
Yeah.
was just going out for pilot season.
Well, do you still audition for stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're still actively auditioning even as you're shooting?
Yeah, because we always get this massive period in between.
Right.
filming. It's not massive. I mean, you get three months, 4
But it's enough to
months.
do a movie or something like that.
Yeah,
if you wanted
people try to squeeze one in and stuff. But
You want coffee or water? Kevin's going on a run.
I'll do water if that's cool. Thank you, buddy. But I went for some meetings for some cool stuff.
Some cool stuff.
Tell us all about it.
Well, my dreams to be in Star Wars is the reason I became
Please tell me
an
you
actor.
auditioned for Star Wars.
Well, I've been trying to. I went for a meeting just to meet the folks and just say hi. But it's films it doesn't
Well,
work for our hiatus period.
but it's not going to stop. they're going to keep making them, so you can keep
exactly.
doing that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Just the Rogue One trailer just dropped yesterday. What'd you think of that?
I loved it more than
Amazing,
the
right?
Force Awakens trailer.
Yeah, us too.
It really,
No,
it really got me.
no.
Well, okay, well, because I've had
More
the
than
Force
the
Awakens.
trailer? Are you kidding me?
Dead serious.
No way.
I didn't want to see old Han Solo.
Oh my God.
I love this era that they're
I
dealing
love
with.
this trailer. The Rogue One trailer is amazing, but the trailer for Force Awakens,
Okay, but think of it
No
this
beating
way:
that.
we have had 7 films. Yeah, we've had 7 films, and we all fell in love with A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Jedi, and we haven't had anything that's dealt with that era since the 80s. So, like, when we got the prequels, we were dealing with droids, the Droid Army, the Trade Federation, all of that stuff.
Great
Watto!
plot lines.
Watto, exactly.
Yeah!
Pod
And
racing.
then with The Force Awakens, we've moved away from that style, obviously because it's much later. Whereas this is the first legit re-entry back into that world, back into that time where we could have realistically Boba Fett in it, or we have Grand Moff Tarkin and Vader and stuff. Like, they can do the most awesome cameos right at that time period.
but Episode 7 was the first time moving past it. That if you're comparing the trailers, there's no question to me. And I think both those trailers are like 10 out of 10s. But that 10 is worth so much more than this 10.
Well, the hype train obviously was built for was at an all-time high for the Episode 7 trailer. This I feel what you're saying though, because it is for my childhood, like it's like going back and revisiting my childhood.
Did you cry, Nick? Did you cry?
I
yesterday?
did not. You're right. I did not cry.
He cried during the
I cried
episode
like a-
7 trailer.
Multiple
Ah,
times,
like a
like
baby.
multiple viewings of it.
I cried during the movie. Truth be told.
But I cried during the Man of Steel trailer.
But that's because
I
that
still
is
cried
an
during that
amazing,
trailer.
fantastic trailer.
I don't crying in trailers for
It's
me
because
isn't
you-
a bench because I find like trailers evoke that anyway. It's their main goal is to try
Exactly.
to deceive you to
But it's-
get you.
but
to,
the Rogue One didn't do it.
and I liked it for that. And
Oh,
also
man.
like thing is, Empire is my favorite film of all time. Seeing her like that shot where she was in the
Yeah, it's
tunnel
so
of
good.
light,
It's beautifully
and there was a
lit.
shot of a back to tank with the Emperor's Royal Guards there. These are. That's Star Wars to me, way more than seeing old Harrison Ford. For some reason, that was just I was really aware of
No, I feel you.
the films Force Awakens, like it being this movie, a sequel for Disney, whereas with Rogue One, I don't know, there's something, it felt alive. It felt like I was seeing a snapshot of that time period again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
A parallel story right from there, ripped out from that era. I don't know.
I mean, it's amazing. I cannot wait.
Yeah, there's
We
something
live in
special about
such
all
a
of
good
it. Let's
time
put
right
that.
now. This is great.
so we need to basically what you're telling us is start a campaign to get you in the next Star Wars.
Everyone.
We can do that.
Everybody tweeted George. I don't know who tweeted. Who you tweeted at.
Probably
Disney
Kathleen
just
Kennedy,
tweeted.
I would imagine.
Does she have a Twitter?
I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy has. I'm sure she does.
We're
I don't
gonna
know if
look
she
into
runs
all
it.
this, and if anybody has a Twitter, we'll put it here with the message
Maybe
to tweet.
we should like go for an actor in Star Wars that isn't massive. That we'll
Boyega.
see the tweet.
Boyega?
Yeah, Boyega's massive. It has to be like the
No,
guy who
but
voiced.
I'm verified. We can make it happen. We can make him see it for sure.
Thank you, buddy. Cheers.
No worries.
We're also trying to get Dave Fennoy in Walking Dead. Ezekiel.
Kevin,
Don't
please,
forget.
cream.
You want cream too?
Yes,
Bring
please.
the cream in. Yeah, Kev, have some fun, will you? It's a show.
That's fun. I mean, I think anyone who's ever dreamt of doing anything in TV or film, even on screen or off screen, is like Star Wars is the golden goose. Star
yeah,
Wars is
it
like
was.
if you could just be a part of a Star Wars film. And the great thing for me is like I've always wanted to write and direct films, and it kind of sucks because now that's
I love
thanks,
this show.
Kevin.
I love
Can
this
get,
show.
Can I see the dessert menu? Thank you. But now it kind of sucks because now there's no time limit for it. Like the concept of being a writer, you're always sort of putting it off. And now I can put it off indefinitely because Star Wars will be forever. It's forever. We
Yeah,
always
it's
get
just
Star
going
Wars
to keep
now.
going and going and going. And
Yeah, it'll be on. I mean, that's why it was imperative for me to try to get in The Man in the High Castle now, because as an extra, because who knows
Yes.
how long
oh,
it's
do you
gonna
want?
last.
Not
you
very
want
long.
that?
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I might be able to.
I want. We were talking to. I think his name is Lee Shorten, who's like one of the Japanese Imperial guys on there, and I think Greg asked him like.
No, so to give you context for this, Colin was on the hype train early. He is the locomotive for Man in the High Castle. Telling everybody watch it. And finally, this actor tweeted in response to one of our fans, and then looked through it and saw that how many times Colin had recommended it, and then tweeted at Colin thanking him for recommending it. And then Colin's like, "Can I just be an extra in the show, one of the Nazis or whatever?" And the guy's like, "I don't know if I have that much power, but I'll try."
Well,
It's gotta happen.
You know, it's shot in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Like all
There's
of our
planes.
crew had when they finished doing iZombie season 1, shot Man in the High Castle, and the cast did. I can
We got to make this happen.
We should. I want to just. I would prefer not to be a Nazi, but I'll be a Nazi
No,
if
it's
I have
Nazi
to.
or nothing.
I feel like
I want to
feel
be
like-
part of the resistance, but
King
if I can
Nazi.
be,
Colin, I gotta be honest. I
there's
feel
only
like
three sides, and I can't be a Japanese person,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
no, unfortunately not. So I feel like, unfortunately, for some reason, the Nazi just feels right.
Well,
It just feels right.
a lot of the show does take place on Long Island, and that's Nazi occupied. So
I enjoyed. There was a tweet today too that Nick should be a cadaver on your show, and I like that
Oh,
as
it's gonna
well.
be a cadaver.
Gonna be a
Just
cadaver.
pull it out.
I'm
and just
great at
dead Nick
sleeping.
there.
It's just lying on the table for 8 hours
Totally
while we
fine.
spit over you because we enunciate.
That's totally
Cool.
fine.
Play to the back of the
Totally
room.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Can I be naked?
It has to be. Dong
Fully
out,
erect.
everything.
Perfect.
But we can't show the dong, but we need to see the dong.
Oh, I will show. Let me put this out to you. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to succeed.
Perfect.
Whatever
You're
it
gonna
takes.
go far, Nick.
Whatever it takes, Tim.
and I'm gonna ratchet up for Man in the High Castle. I need a speaking part.
Oh damn!
For
now
2
he's
seasons.
getting bold, and I like it when Colin gets bold. I like it when he rubs his mustache like
A
that.
speaking part.
Yeah.
That's asking a lot.
Yeah, I need a line.
What you need to do is get yourself on the show as an extra and have so much presence that whoever's directing that episode decides to give you a speaking line.
Yes, open group with Fuhrer or whatever that fucking
It's gotta
crazy
be
guy
better
did.
than that. It's gotta be better
I
than
got.
that.
I'll work on it.
Work on it. Ask him for some pointers. He's been acting since he was 4.
I have no interest in acting or voice acting at all. But like when there's certain shows, like if Jericho came back, I'd be like, I gotta be on Jericho. You know, I'm responsible for literally 20% of the traffic that show gets on Netflix. I'm gonna be on fucking Jericho.
also true.
And they're gonna be like, you're probably right.
Well, I don't know that show's ever going to come back, but
no, the window of that coming back passed about
you
6
never
years
know.
ago.
You never know, though. They brought 24 back after like 18 years.
Skeet Ulrich's. I mean,
he needs work.
but the other guy is on Walking Dead.
Yeah, Hawkins.
Hawkins, yeah.
I never remember his real name. Also, I found out one of these British folks who hides it. And I didn't know that. Somebody said that. I was like, oh.
I didn't know Maggie was British.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Andrew Lincoln.
British.
We were having this
Lauren
conversation.
Cohen.
Everyone's British. It's
Dude,
amazing.
Conway in the
The best actors on the
House of
planet.
Cards in House of Cards is like Swedish.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. He's RoboCop.
Oh
Isn't he?
yeah, he's a Swedish actor.
Yeah, and he's playing the Republican nominee for president. So
Yeah,
funny.
my wife loves the British accent, and when she found out that Andrew Lincoln was British, she was just like, he's the perfect human being.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't you go fucking marry him then? Okay, why don't you leave me and you go marry him? You're having the sex dreams about Andrew Lincoln when I'm sleeping right next to you. Not cool.
Tim,
Yes.
what's your topic?
So I'm having a bit of a dilemma here.
Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters throughout last month. That's where Kevin will insert that. You're having a dilemma. Tell me all about it.
See, I'm having a dilemma here. So I have a Prius C. It's an obnoxious blue. We've
I like
talked
it.
about this many times. So here's the deal. I traveled to go to LA last week to go do the Final Fantasy event with Greg. Come back. I was gone for maybe 3 or 4 days. I come back and there is a bag of dog shit on my car.
Where on your car?
On the window, on the front.
So like where
window.
you leave a parking ticket.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Exactly. It's like, that's right where it is. And I'm just like, that's weird. It's a little bag of shit. So I just take it off, fling it off, and that's it. 2 days later, it happens again. There's another bag of shit on my car. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm with my housemate. I'm just like, dude,
Colonel.
Curran, my best friend Curran. And he's just like, what the hell? This is so weird. Now, a little background on this. They own 2 dogs. So I live with 2 dogs. They're awesome dogs. And they poop because that's what dogs do. So they poop, they get put in these little bags, and then they throw the bags away. So they were having an issue where the property manager was coming around and taking their bags of dog poo and throwing it on their driveway because they would keep it in this little pile next to their garage until garbage day when they'd bring the garbage can over to put in the can, because they were like, oh, visually they didn't want that, even though it was like hidden behind a thing. But the property manager's going around looking for all this shit, right?
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
So
So they should got a little cane for it.
They'd spread it across the driveway now,
Gross.
so that when my friends would come back home, their car would run over all the dog shit as a way to kind of be like, fuck you, put the dog shit away.
Did they get any verbal or written warnings before this? Okay.
No, absolutely not. That's how they learned, like, oh, it's not okay to do this little pile that no one sees. So they started just immediately throwing it away like a normal person would. And
Can I
that
ask
all
another
makes sense.
question?
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't the property? You're saying the property manager threw it in the driveway. Are we sure it's the property
We
manager?
were absolutely sure.
Thank you.
Yes, we were sure because my friends complained to their neighbors, and their neighbors like, oh, we had an issue before with our dogs, and the property manager ended up talking to us about it. So
Sure.
they do this. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It happens again. And I'm like, I don't have dogs. The dogs that I live with, there's no way to know that car and those dogs are related at all. Because it's not like I have a designated spot. I park in like a guest parking spot, and I move every day because there's a whole bunch of different parking spots. And there's no way to combine the two. And in addition to that, these dogs are now completely taken care of, where their poop is always thrown away perfectly. So it's like, I don't even know whose dog poop. These aren't even my friend's dog's poop bags. Like, these are some other motherfucking dog's poop bags. I ain't into this. I ain't into this at all.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
So then I leave.
Hold on, we're still going.
Then I leave to go to Texas.
I apologize.
I leave to go to Texas. We're there for a couple days, and I get a text from Colonel. Dude, there's 3 bags of dog shit on your car right now. And I'm like, well, shit.
Literally.
So this is my dilemma. Nick, what's your question?
I have a couple questions because you told me this story before, and I immediately thought we need to do a sting operation.
Yes.
But before we do that, we need to get into. We just need to hash all the details before we waste an entire evening. One, are you allowed to park in your guest parking?
Yes.
As a general rule,
I am.
So it's not someone who has animosity that you're taking up the guest parking when you shouldn't be there.
There is enough guest parking to go around for everybody.
Number 2, what do the bags look like? Are these generic bags? Does Kern use these bags?
They are. I mean, they're all generic bags. Is there differences? I don't know what bags you use.
I used to use these lavender scented ones from the poop bag guy.
Visually, though.
There's sometimes designs in the bags. Yours are just black bags.
They're just little tiny black bags. They're the same ones that Curran does use.
Okay.
But like all the poop bags I've seen here are the same bags.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Do you have an offensive bumper sticker or registration plate?
My car is absolutely, I mean, the color's offensive.
Aside from the color,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
a
very
loud
offensive to
red,
your.
I have a question. What did you do?
Nothing. So that's my, now, all right. So you're talking about the sting operation. Like I need to figure this out because there's someone out to get me, obviously.
You did something and you don't know.
So, but I'm not the type of guy that does things.
Somebody watched the How to Ruin Your Life Game Over Greggy show and they came up with this for you.
They're there. What's funny about that is the week that I did that, my tires got slashed. Remember? And I'm like, well, this is a fucking thing. Yeah, my tires got slashed. Not in this place though. Actually, I don't know where it happened.
I just thought of something. So my buddy Malcolm, he just bought a new doorbell that is censored, like it's movement censored, right? And it has a camera in it. So as someone's approaching his property, it goes straight to his phone wherever he is. He could be in a different state, and it gives you a live feed there and then, and you can have a microphone and speak. And it was quite cheap, so you could have it, and you could extend the distance to 30 feet.
Oh my god!
So the minute someone's doing that, you would have live feed access, and you could speak, or you could run out of your apartment.
I love
away
this.
And
Yeah, no, see, because that was the thing. Like we started talking about this, and I'm like, what's the battle plan? Like, what are we gonna do to take these motherfuckers down?
You had a theory when you initially proposed this before we said stop. This is a topic. Is it only happening when you're out of town and your car's been parked for a long time?
There's been one time that it happened when I wasn't traveling.
Okay.
And again, the long time is my car's been parked there for 3 days. Which,
but that had 3 dog bags on it, right? Or no? Is that a different time?
No, that was a different time.
I apologize.
I mean, the solution is simple. It's mutually assured destruction. The
So nuke them.
So they leave a. So we do the sting operation. We find out who this person is, but we do not confront them.
See, I'm with Colin.
Then you figure out who they are, and then you follow them in some respect to their car, and then you just shit on their car.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you take. It's a war of escalation. It's shock and awe.
Yeah.
As George W. Bush might call it. They leave little bags of dog shit on your car. You pull your pants down and shit directly on their hood.
Right.
And then they'll understand what's
the psychopaths they're dealing with.
And just pray they don't watch Game Over Greggy.
Yeah.
And now they're waiting for you to pop a spot on their drive.
Now, on a serious note, because that is not a real serious solution, my thought is that it has something to do with using the guest parking spot.
So
because you are not a guest, you live there, and whether they know that or not, they just assume that you're just always there, and that for some reason frustrates them. We've been in this situation, like we've seen parking even in our street where people will fucking occupy the same spots. And everyone gets fucking mad. They follow the fucking street cleaner guy around, just park their cars in the same spots over and over again. So these people might just be seeing your car and being like,
the white truck that's out there.
But so okay, that makes sense, and I feel like that too. But the thing is, so the property managers, they know that like I am allowed to park in guest parking.
I'm not saying you're not allowed.
But I'm saying from the top down perspective of the property, I'm allowed to do that.
Okay, so here's my question then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're continuing to go on your point?
Well, just the other point based on this is I park in a different spot every night. It's not like I'm in the same spot. It's always a different spot.
I'm not saying that, but they're just always seeing your car, and there's some curmudgeon there, and I know curmudgeons. All right.
You are curmudgeon.
There's some curmudgeon out there that's like, why is this motherfucker always here?
But it's
You
like,
know? I'm telling you, there's
so
fucking
we're gonna
crazy people.
dog shit him?
There's crazy people
Dog
out there.
shit 'em.
The only other solution is what I think might be possible. That was already said is that you tempted fate with talking about how you can subtly fuck with someone's life.
I know.
And
There's two other solutions. Continue.
that's it.
That's it.
I said end, but it was
Mike-
actually a period.
Okay. Go ahead.
My question is this. It's the same bag that Colonel uses. It's the same bag that's used all there. Do you think it's possible that the property manager does think that car is Colonel's car and that he is thus then finding other black bags around the property and assuming this is still those fucking people, I'm going to put it on Colonel's car?
Maybe, but the thing is, there's no way to track that car and this, that they're related whatsoever.
Well, I mean, you have to remember also people see you.
But
right? So they can see you.
I mean, that's my thing.
No,
is
no
it's
one
like,
sees him apparently.
I'm aware
ghost.
of. I mean, you've seen the
Are you even here right
the
now?
house I'm living at. Like, so it's in. There's a gate. First off,
Yeah.
So it's like.
So it's an inside job.
It's an inside job. Someone in there is doing this.
Ooh, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
What you do is wait for it to happen again and then smash your own fucking car up. Smash your windscreen and leave the dog shit there, vandalize your car, then report it to the police, including the dog shit, and make it a federal matter. And then the
I
police will
fucking like you.
just smash your car up.
I'm into that.
Are smash cars federal matters?
Well, it would be
government.
It would be vandalism for one, and two, you can't do that now again because as we established about 5 minutes ago,
We're on Game
if there,
Over.
yeah, we're recording this and streaming it to
Well,
the
wait,
internet.
so I have a question. I mean, I'm assuming I know the answer to this, but is it illegal to put dog shit on someone's car?
Probably not.
I mean, but it doesn't.
It's
don't
littering.
have
You
like-
can say it's littering.
Probably
No,
vandalism.
but we have this thing called like antisocial behavior. I'm guessing you get an ASBO for it, and that's just an umbrella for anything they deem it's broad enough.
This is disturbing the
vague
peace.
enough. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm sure
is.
it's a crime to some degree.
It's
I
a
don't know if
misdemeanor,
it's a
maybe. I mean, no one's
misdemeanor.
But I
gonna
feel
do
like
any
the
time
fact that
for
it's
it.
shit. Like if it was garbage, that'd be one thing. But this is fecal matter.
Well, it's harassment for one.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's-
it's
harassment.
harassment, yeah.
Nice.
so it is. They're doing something.
You should. Have you
to
been taking
harass you.
photos? You
No.
should be taking photos because what's inevitably going to happen is you're going to take all the photos because inevitably 3 weeks from now we're going to do the stakeout and somebody's going to die. And I'm not saying it's them. It might be that I run up with my spear and fall on it, and then we have to go to court. But you can have like this.
Got
Again,
it.
now that you've said it, it's gonna not. We've recorded
I do
it.
think that the first order of business before you decide how to proceed is you just have to find out who did it,
Yeah.
who's doing it, and you have to get you have to watch it for multiple nights.
That's
It could be a
team?
nefarious group of people.
You think it's a team?
Michael.
Achievement hunter.
Oh my
Fucking goddamn it,
That'd be
Michael.
amazing.
He's flying out here. He knows you're going to Austin, so he flies over here.
But we saw him in Austin.
My question is this then. Have you been taking notes? Do you have a timeline of events? Like you park your car at midnight and then you find the poop at 6? Like that's what you got to start doing too. I need a journal.
Because here's the thing: it happening the first 2 times was like, all right,
Whatever, that's weird. Yeah, I hear you.
this is weird. It wasn't until I was in Austin and then there's now 3 bags of shit on your car. I'm like, well, fuck.
Maybe it's a message.
I have to ask you 2 more questions
Like,
before.
Have you ever
Free for
opened the
this
bags?
too.
They're trying to get, like it's Morse. When you,
like someone's been kidnapped and the only way they only get out to take dog shit out. I don't know how that would work. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions and you need to consider these very heavy because Colin brought up Occam's razor, right? Which is, if I'm not mistaken, is the simplest solution. Tends to be the one, right?
This is the simplest explanation. All things being equal.
I heard it both ways. All right.
In Riverside, this is how we talk.
This is how we saw it in Southern California, guys.
And for our science people out there, it's way more complicated than that. But that's how the layman
This
uses
is how we do. This is what it's on the back of the gum wrapper. Have you asked Curran if he's doing this to you?
There is, without a shadow of a doubt, no chance that
Because
it's him.
Curran is a very nice guy, but I can see him laughing his ass off about this.
He's not that dude. Like
Okay.
that's the thing is he would, especially with me, because he knows the rules of escalation. He's not the type to tempt me.
Okay. And then my second question, and this is a very important question. Have you made sure that Kevin's not doing this to you?
No. See, that's my thing is I haven't had time
Because
to really
Kevin
think
was
about
pissed
this.
off when I told him he couldn't come to Austin with us, and this is a perfect way for him
and
to take this
also, when
out.
we first met, a bag of dog shit fell out of his pocket.
No, I mean that's the thing. It could be Kevin. Like Kevin, out of all people, is the most likely suspect because he.
Have you
can get
verified
in-
that it's dog shit? It might be
I
Mr.
haven't.
Thomas
I haven't.
Janine cat
I don't know
shit.
what's in it. There could,
Thomas Janine.
there could be gold in that shit. Like I don't know, but I'm just gonna assume it's dog shit. shit. Now I will give credit to the fact that I don't think that it's always fresh dog shit, because my solution was to just throw it up. I'm not gonna go find a garbage can. Like, again, we're in a parking lot area and like there's not garbage cans around.
Quick question for my own visualization. I'm imagining you're parking in this lot and then it's sidewalk and then it's grass and then it's the building. Like they're walking along the sidewalk with their dog and they see your car?
There's no sidewalks because it's in like a complex thing. So there's just a bunch of spots that are next to each other, like vertically.
Sure.
And it goes like they're all numbered spots. So it's like for this house, for this house, for this house, and then guest, and then this house, and then another 2 guests.
Oh, so they're going out of their way to do it.
Yeah. No, I mean it's like
You're not parking in front of someone else's house. Someone is going to your car.
Yes.
Oh,
And-
then I
and-
agree with Colin. You're parking in someone's spot, or someone's taken offense to your car.
But I mean, but
He moves
that's-
spots, though.
That's the thing, though. It's not. I'm never in this.
I think-
I'm
but see,
telling
I
you,
think
I think
it's-
it's totally that. I know you have permission. No one's saying it's the property manager. No one's saying you don't have the legal right to do it. I'm saying someone doesn't like that you are parking
But I mean,
only in
so
guest
what's-
parking.
That's the thing, though. Is what's interesting to me is that my car is never in one guest area often enough that. I mean, any rational person could get upset.
Yeah,
Now,
but
I
there's a lot
understand
of
there's crazy people. But like the thing is, like the guest spots, it's like I said, it goes like there'll be like 4 spots and then like 4 registered car people and then another 4 guests and then 10 registered car and then another 4 guests. Like, and it goes down pretty far, and I park all over the place. So it's like, unless they're just really upset at my blue, I don't get it.
You did something. Like I'm not saying you. I'm not
No,
saying
I get
you.
it.
I'm not saying you didn't do anything that is wrong or anything that anyone would even notice. Hate to tell you are not dealing with a rational person. Clearly, you did something.
Yeah, I don't know what I could have done though.
No, but it's not. It's not something you would ever figure out.
Someone could have lost their family member to a blue Prius
Yeah.
years ago and just has it out for blue Priuses. It brings back the
I
memory.
mean, that would make sense.
I feel like just to kind of think outside the box here. If I were this person, I would be walking my dog at night. The dog would shit. I would put it in the bag, and then I would go. Would I go out of my way to find your car to put that on there? Right. I feel like we should start mapping out where you park.
Yes.
because we can triangulate that to where this person walks
extensive
their
research
dog.
and journals going on here.
Right.
Kevin's
And
got
then-
something to show.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we won't show the TV, but or the TV, the people. But let me see.
It feels so personal though.
Tim doesn't invite me over.
It's
Because here's the
either
thing.
the car or the person.
Yeah.
And like you need a shit. Have you got a shit list?
Yeah,
No,
so we
I mean,
park
that's-
here,
I-
but
I
there's
should
plenty
be
of-
good.
There's plenty of coverage in the grass for people to come out and just throw shit and go back into the shrubbery.
Yeah, but it's somebody
Well,
on
the
this.
shrubbery
It's somebody
goes
on
up.
this
The
street. It's
shrubbery's
somebody
like
on
a
this
mountain.
street for sure.
Yeah.
Have you started going through and knocking off the houses that have dogs?
There's
Start
okay,
narrowing
so
it.
there's,
It's like the game. There's a big game of Guess Who.
there's not too many dogs in the area of the complex.
Guess Who.
And again, I'm repping 2 of those dogs.
All right, so here's what I think we should do. I like the idea of some sort of surveillance operation. I wholeheartedly agree with Colin on the front part of his plan, where once we find out who it is, we shouldn't immediately spring out of the bushes.
I want to so bad though.
Which
please.
Greg wants
No, we
to.
can't.
Please.
We have to develop a plan.
It has to be a plan. Because
Time lapse?
and here's why. Because doing it the first time doesn't prove they did it all the other times. You got to have a second time. You got to get them on camera at least twice to corroborate that they did it twice. You need to start cataloging it right now. Start taking pictures, preferably with a copy of today's newspaper right next to it, so we know which day is what.
I like it.
And then maybe on the third night, that's when we set up the speaker system. Now the speaker system is going to be elaborate. Okay, it needs to be surround sound at least 7.1. And when the person does it for the third time, it needs to be fucking chaos.
Oh, then DTS.
Oh my God. We need to come at that person and just traumatize them. Fake cops pulling up. Someone gets shot. Fake.
Kevin runs
shot.
up and takes a shit right on there.
then-
I want to fling the shit at them at this point.
Kevin,
It's
you're
just
good
like,
for it.
fuck the car.
Oh, yeah.
This is personal.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to
I
set
think
up a
it's-
time lapse.
Yeah, I know. So
You
I've
have to
been,
get
I've been
footage
thinking
of
about
it.
that. I like what you're talking about the camera that turns on if there's
the motion, yeah.
Because I've been having issues. I was thinking about a GoPro. They don't last that long, and it's just like I'm not going to use my poor Prius C's car battery. Like that doesn't sound like a good
Periscope.
If you
the
can,
entire time.
find a camera that's activated by movement, just like what my buddy
Yeah.
had, then anytime someone passes the car or gets within a certain proximity to it, you're going to get a snapshot of it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm down.
I mean, it's just a matter if you believe in, turn the other cheek, or you believe in.
We do not believe
Or
in
you
that.
believe in like a sort of commiserate kind
Like
of
parting
like
them cheeks.
when this first
attacks, or if you believe in escalation, or if you believe in escalation.
I believe in escalation. When this first happened, I just assumed someone had the dog shit and they tried to fling it into the bush and it just landed on my car. And if that were the case, a simple glare at them would have sufficed. Like if I saw them, I would have gave them the look, and then they would have been like, they would have felt like assholes, and that would have been it. But it happening again, I was like, that's really weird. It happening now, it's like, oh, these motherfuckers don't know.
That's
who
what I'm
they're
saying, man.
fucking
I think we
with.
make a video feature out of this whole thing, right? Like maybe 2
Yes.
or 3. And the very last thing, we set up something really elaborate to the point where the joke just keeps going. Where this person's like, what is happening? And then the stripper poles come in and the dance party starts and it's like a foam party. And they're like, I think I'm off the hook. Maybe these people like me. And then we fucking kill them. You know what I mean?
Somehow we open up like you're looking at Tim's house or whatever, and then it just splits in half and opens. It turns out it's on the Kind of Funny Live 2 stage. And all these
It's like those Bud Light commercials where you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're going up to an ATM and you wind up at a fucking party.
Fuck these guys.
But just look at Kevin for a second. See if he breaks.
No, he will. 'Cause
It's
he always
totally
did.
Kevin.
And there's a 10 to 20% chance it is Kevin.
Oh, it's a 50 to 60% chance it's Kevin. This is the kind of shit that Kevin would do because you guys do this shit to each other. And so I feel like this is here's how we'll know. If you set up the camera and you catch the person, but he's wearing the Scream costume, it's Kevin. If it's the
Can you
Scream
imagine
mask,
Kevin running around with
you
this?
know it's Kevin because he'd be like, he'd
He'd bump into a lot of things.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
Almost fall down,
He'd
but
be
not.
like- yeah.
He'd weeble wobble, but he won't fall down.
The car alarms are going off. He keeps careening into this.
He's dropping things.
No, but in all seriousness, we should just take a picture and call the police. That's what you should do.
Yeah, this is harassment.
It's harassment.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I always thought the harassment would be from the other end, but nope.
No, it doesn't feel good.
This
does it?
time,
What have we learned from this? Maybe you'll stop harassing other people now.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna look into
I'm
motion
actually
cameras?
pretty good. What's up?
You gonna look into a motion camera?
I'm going to. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, I'm down 100%. If you can
I'm
just
gonna
do
be
the
honest,
journal.
I think it needs to happen again for me to get real upset. Because like right now, like I'm gonna be here for the next 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
we're not traveling.
Yeah.
So if it happens in between now and PAX East, escalation.
I'm telling you,
Straight
get the
to
journal
escalation.
going.
Relevance is leaving. Then that means that they know you, right? If
Well,
you,
that means my car's there long enough,
3 days in a row.
longer than just the night. Like right now, my
Well, then
car's
what you-
here, not there. You know
Oh,
what I'm
I
saying?
see what you mean.
So if
But
my
always,
car's
you can always
there-
try and park in the same spot, roughly, right? You can actively always just try and.
Oh,
get
should I try to make this happen?
You should try to. You should will it to happen.
Okay, I'll do that.
Sting operation.
Yeah.
$200.
We got a $200 one.
Fine,
Go
expensive.
fund me.
Fuck it. Expensive.
Put it on the company. Put it on the company.
Well, I'm sure we'll use it at some other point when Kevin's like hoarding things he's stealing from us.
But I mean, we're making a vital mistake
Of
in
announcing it.
Well, not announcing it. We're tipping off our prime suspect that we're going to be having a
He's
surveillance
buying the
operation.
camera. He's setting the camera
He's the one
up.
that's doing it. We're never going to catch this guy.
Yeah, but okay, at the same time, how amazing would it be if Kevin set up the motion camera thing and then fucking bought a Scream costume and fucking reenacted what we just said?
I want that so bad.
Get the times, because even if I will gladly come to your house every day at 4:30 in the morning and just chill there drinking coffee, watching.
Here's the thing. It's like,
I think it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you
probably.
gotta think of
That's why I
it's
need
when
the
they're
journal.
walking their
That's why I need
dogs.
the. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is you're a night owl. So I feel like you and Kevin, you always go off to these weird Indian restaurants for food, and you come back. I feel like you're going to Westlake and you're riding horses and doing all
Yeah.
this weird shit. You've got to be coming back at a late point in time where I think it's an early
You're going
morning
to
walk.
Indian restaurants.
We're going to Indian restaurants.
Maybe
but
it's
they
your own
close
bag
at
of
10.
shit. And you're too pissed up to fucking remember that you.
Possible. Anything's possible. Let's not rule that out.
Yeah.
But I think it's entirely possible.
Get a journal going because I need to know
Okay,
more
I
information.
will. I'll get
before
it.
we-
I'll definitely get a journal.
scientific theory.
This is the start. We need to do a documentary about this. We need to start documenting this process.
going. Remember that this also involved slashing of tires at some point.
But was that at your house?
Huh?
Was that at your house?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. When I
Okay.
found out, it was.
Okay.
You know,
Wasn't there a nail they pulled out?
I'm still going to consider it a slashing.
Okay. They didn't put nobody.
No one's
nail.
actually. No one. Yeah, it's a nail. You hit.
So it was slashing of a tire. Was what you were?
That's a red herring.
Yeah, no, a tire.
It was a nail
Dude, this is like $60.
with a motion
Get the
camera.
$300
I thought it
one.
was $200.
I want
What's
the.
wrong?
I want the $200.
Find the
one.
most expensive one you could find inexpensive.
I need night vision. We
I
need
want,
night vision.
I want whatever the Navy SEALs use.
Lights
Navy
isn't
SEAL.
gonna work.
No, but I want them to know.
Buy a high-powered
No,
car.
lights
line.
doesn't.
You want to do it
No.
multiple times, Kevin.
It can't. They can't.
Your idea
know.
is bad. Don't do that.
We need to drill into the hood of Tim's car, and I want that, and I want you to buy 4 high-powered carbine rifles. And those little things that like you pull and they pop out for parties.
Party poppers.
I need at least 5 of those.
Sure. Okay. What about this?
5, yeah.
What
You
if-
of 6? Fine.
Is there enough grass where, because he's doing it on the hood every time, right? Park by the grass, and then we hollow out all the grass so they fall into a little pit that we have.
Or
Well-
ghillie suit. We paint ourselves like
Yes!
that.
Oh my
pop up
God!
on 'em and they don't know
If you
it's
give
us.
me a ghillie suit, I will lay out there. Yes, I will. Yes.
Please.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
They're like,
We're all
Sarah,
gonna
you
get
clearly
arrested.
see it's you.
I'm screaming
I'm
at
not getting involved in that.
everybody who walks by with a dog, I flip out on.
They're not even expensive, guys.
Ghillie suits?
Yeah.
We need the journal, then we'll figure it out.
All right.
Journal's key to this. Nick,
Yeah.
what's your topic?
My topic comes from the community. You have it.
Yeah,
Ooh, where
there
is
you go.
it?
It's Tack Track, topic
Okay.
3. Tack Track, of course, went to patreon.com/kindafunny and supported us there to get his topic right on the show, just like you can.
His topic starts very simply with police encounters. First, I want to state that at one time I was a police officer, but my career ended due to multiple gunshot wounds. I think he's probably
Tack Track's, no, Tack Track's
Are we serious
100%
about that?
serious. Yeah.
Wow, okay,
He's
well,
a
I'm
rapper
sorry
now,
to
of course. Everybody go support Tack Track. Big fan.
Well, secondly, I want to advise that I am in no way advocating drunk or buzz driving. Please call a friend. It's very important. Also, if someone's putting poop on your car, do not
Tell your friends on their podcast.
Yeah, make sure you, but don't
So
make
they
sure
can
it
buy
doesn't
ghillie suits.
resort in violence. We're going to find non-violent means of doing this, preferably within the
Dude,
confines
like, you
of the
have
law.
no idea. That guy will lose his mind when I just stand up like, hey, what the and I'll be really loud because I can get loud, you know? And then
Seeing it, you'll be drunk at this point.
Yeah, but what if he was like, "Oh my God, I love your videos."
pop right in the face.
awesome? Greg's in jail. Yes, he was. It was a couple of months before I was to report to police academy. I was at a bar with a friend, and we decided to continue the party at his place. I wanted to get a few things from my house first. I grabbed some items, including a six-pack of Bud Ice. On my way to my friend's place, I was pulled over in front of a convenience store. The officer asked if I had been drinking. I said yes. And I also let him know that I was about to enter the police academy. He ran my license. When he came back, he asked if he could have someone pick me up. I said yes. He told me to pull into the convenience store parking lot and wait. I called my friend, explained the situation, and told him to come pick me up. Meanwhile, the cop waited inside the store. There's more. The car pulls up, and I start pulling my things into the back seat. While I'm doing this, I tell my friends that the cop is letting me go. So let's go. Let's get out of there. All of a sudden, I hear a voice laughingly say, "Who are you?" I looked up to realize I was putting my things into a stranger's car. I said to the stranger, "My bad," and I gave him one Bud Ice can as an apology for the mistaken identity. I got my stuff out of the wrong car and noticed that the correct car was pulling in behind me. I then started putting my things into the correct car. My friend says, "What the hell are you doing in that guy's car?" I said, "Never mind, I'll tell you later." Before we left, I told my friend I just need to get my license back from the cop. Parentheses, mind you, he was watching the entire exchange from the inside. So I go inside and tell the cop that my friend is here and I just need my ID. He said, "I never took your ID," to which I replied, "Have a good morning, sir." Do you have any hilarious cop encounters to share? Or maybe some bad encounters? Question
Oh,
mark.
Tack Track.
Oh,
The Bud Ice was the real kicker. Like, you sure are in St. Louis, Missouri, walking around drinking
There's
Bud
nothing,
Ice.
you're almost on 4%, by the way.
I
That's
know.
what
I'm saving it.
I think all of my cop encounters usually end with me being overly polite. I am, as much as you guys have seen me get angry at the stupidest shit, when there is an officer of the law involved, I, for some reason, I'm cool as a cucumber. I'm just like,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
Yep.
I don't know why he's that, sir. Yes, you can take him, sir. Like, I will sacrifice all of you to not go to jail. I just
Sure.
want you to know
Sure.
that right now.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
And I've gotten out of things because of that. And it's always a good rule of thumb. Be overly nice.
Oh,
A
definitely.
lot of sirs, a lot of apologies. Never happen again. You know what? You're right. I probably deserve this. I asked a cop one time. I got stopped for a speeding ticket. I was going through the Broadway tunnel, and I was like, I'm really late to a job. I was going to a Microsoft thing at GDC, like my first year working on IGN.
When you cared.
When I cared, and I was driving Brennan's car because we had he had an SUV at the time, and I was driving really fast because I was late. And they had a little sting operation on the other side of the bridge where there was like 5 cops, and they were just pulling people like he didn't even get on his car.
They
He just
had
went like
this,
this.
not
he went,
this.
He just looked at me and went like here. Didn't even get
Had
on
an
his bike.
assault rifle radar gun.
Yeah, he was like, boom, get you. And I locked eyes with him, and he was like, and I'm like, fuck. He walks up, and I'm like, "Officer, I'm so sorry. I'm late for a job. It's my first day, yada, yada, yada." And I always ask this, because why not? Is there any way you can let me out of this? And he was like, "I'll tell you what. No, I have to write you a ticket because I already started writing it." And I was like, "All right, I guess that's fine. It's not like you can just scratch that out." And he's like, "But I very seldom show up to court. Just to let you know." And I'm like, "Okay." And sure as shit, he didn't show up. So I got out of the ticket. It was nice. But I hired a lawyer anyway.
Classic
No, you
Nick.
didn't, did you?
I did. Yeah, they had
Didn't
to
that
hire
cost
a lawyer
way
for
more
a
than the ticket?
Speeding ticket?
Well, the speeding ticket would have been. I was going really fast. He wrote me down.
You were driving on top of the tunnel,
I
like Men in
did
Black.
the Men in Black thing. No, yeah, I was like, I don't want because at the time I just started at IGN. I wasn't making that much money, and
We're
I couldn't.
making kind of funny money.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now we're like, sell that dog, buy you 10 more. But I
So why do we have to sell them?
I don't like the look of him. No, at the time I was like, I don't want my insurance to go up. So I was like, hook or crook, I'm getting this off my record because I don't want, you put a ticket on there. I was like, it's going to skyrocket. I was like 23 or 24. So at that point, I didn't want it to go hella out of the way. But yeah, hired a lawyer. She called, figured out the day he was off. The cop was off. Scheduled the court date for that. He didn't show up.
Yeah.
Cost me like $125.
How much would the ticket have cost you?
Probably 115.
But the insurance,
And way less time, by the way. I probably could have. Well, because I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think I had already gotten a ticket, and this was the second one. So the first one in California, I don't know if it's still the same thing, but it used to be that if you got a ticket, you go to driver school,
Oh, okay.
spend a day there, and it doesn't hit your insurance company. But I think I'd already gotten one like the month before, and I'm like, I can't get another ticket. My insurance will skyrocket, and I can't go to school again for this. So I had to hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
That was it. Riveting story, I know. Then there's all the times my brother almost got arrested in front of me. But you guys don't want to hear about those.
Yeah, we hate Matt Scarpino stories. What was he doing in front of you?
Matt is the opposite of me. So when there's a cop involved, Matt likes to escalate. What do you want, pig? It looks like a fake costume, pig. No,
I can see him saying that.
no, but I love my brother to death. He's one of the best human beings on this planet, and he's been my best friend since I was born. But he thinks it's hilarious for some reason when I'm there to try and get into fights so that me, with the 6 months of kung fu that I took when I was 13, can back him up. Like I'm going to throw down and we're not going to get our asses kicked. So we were at a random like Starbucks in Riverside, California one time. And he just starts talking shit to some guy. Some guy starts talking shit to him. Flash forward, maybe 20 minutes later, they're all sitting on the curb handcuffed. And I'm just laughing my ass off. That's what happens.
Yeah, no,
you've been there.
Definitely is what happens.
Yeah, I've seen fights escalate and
Well, you've had the swamp butt. You ever had the, what do they call it? They have a term for it when you get put on the hood of a cop car.
I'm not
starts to
there.
sweat.
I'm usually the guy that's the whole thing. Is like all my cop stories stem from Mizzou and the Antlers when we were the party house. What up, Antlers? And I've told I think my favorite one is the one where I tripped, wasted in the front yard, got up, the cop was like, "Who's in charge here?" I said I was, gave me the pamphlet at the party later on when I thought I was going to jail for sure, and I was wearing those jail pants that they sell at Halloween. I came out and showed him the flyer, and the cop's like, "Good night," and left. And I was like, I can't believe I got out of this. But I had others where we had a huge party, and I'm the same way, right? Where first off, now in hindsight, as a 33-year-old, right? It's like, man, we fucking made these poor guys' lives such a living hell, and all they are is babysitters. You know what I mean? For the most part, I'm talking about Columbia cops, right? Like
Campus police.
Real
Okay.
Columbia Police Department, real cops, real shit to worry about. But inevitably, they got to go to 200 fucking noise violations on Thursday night. You know what I mean? And there was one where someone called to break up our party. They showed up. I came out as leader. I'm like, sorry, officer. Sorry, sir. Everybody go home. Blah blah. Everybody's leaving, and everything's totally chill. Everybody's leaving. And then my one friend Eric came out, shirtless, wasted, and just made some fucking crack. And the officer's like, "Oh yeah, you're going into the drunk tank tonight." Blah blah blah. And Eric's like, "Oh fuck you." Blah, blah. And the cop handcuffs him. And this is still. It was debated at the time. We figured out eventually. Handcuffs Eric, turns him around, handcuffs him behind his back, right? Puts him in the back of the squad car, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "I'm sorry about that, officer. Can we please get him out? Like, he's one of my guys. He's blah, blah, blah." And finally, the officer's like, "I'll do it for you. You've been really cooperative." Da da da. I'm like, "Thank you so much." And he opens the door, and even though I said all this stuff, Eric, incredibly athletic, jacked as a motherfucker. Favorite thing to do at Antler tailgates was to get drunk and shit off paint can, and then climb this giant tree.
Sorry, pause.
Yeah,
Drunk as shit off paint can.
paint can. It's a drink you make in a paint can. You have to secure a stick from the woods. I'll explain it later. I'll make it for you one day.
No, you don't have to do that.
It's half a bottle of Everclear, a full bottle of Mountain Dew, but we use Mountain Drop because it was cheaper. Then half a frozen limeade, half a frozen lemonade. The Minute Maid cans you buy. You put them in there. You put ice in there. You put mint leaves in there. Then you get the stick from the woods. Then you stir it up, and then you pass. And this is all made in a paint can. Then you pass the paint can to your friends.
Why do you have to have a stick from the woods?
Why is it put in a paint can?
Authenticity,
Why
because
are
it's
you not
called paint
actually getting
can.
Mountain Dew?
Because it's cheaper. We were broke college kids.
But
The
if you're
best though
getting
is-
Mountain Dew, can you not get like a spoon?
No, because the stick adds something to it. You want to
Oh,
understand.
it does add to the flavor.
Yeah. This is one of our freedoms in America. You wouldn't understand. And so, but the best was though at Halloween, you get the Halloween kid bucket, like that candy bucket, and make it in there. That's a damn good paint can. That's a paint can you fucking taste.
I apologize for interrupting you. Continue.
No, it's great. So cop opens the door to let Eric go, and Eric at some point had decided he wanted his hands in front of him. So he had leaned while we're arguing and no one's paying attention. He had leaned back and wiggled his hands out and then got his feet out. But he gave it away that his shoes were muddy. And so the entire cop car on the inside was smeared in mud that he had kicked his feet up and done this. And the officer's like, what the fuck? Like, well, I was gonna let you go. Why? And Eric's like, this is how I got cuffed. And the guy's like, no, you didn't. No, you not at all. This is not how you got cuffed. Da, 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 da.
Oh my God, did they take him away?
No, he got some ticket. Again, they're just babysitters. They're just there to scare you.
I felt so bad. It's one of those things where, like, as I get older now, I've become the guy that calls. I used to, we all used to be the person who used to have the party and be like, who's going to be sober enough to actually answer the door when the cops come? Yep. And then who's going to be barely sober enough when they come the second time and they're really fucking serious about this and like they're going to arrest someone? Because they come the first time and they're always like, shut it down, or we're coming next time we come back, we're arresting someone.
Yep.
And then they come back the next time and they're like, I need to talk to the homeowner, we're arresting you. They never arrest. I've never seen anyone get arrested. You get a ticket maybe, but you're not going to jail for that.
Yeah, you get tickets a lot.
But now I'm the person that's like, I'm calling.
Well, that's the thing.
10:01. That fucking music's still on. The cops are coming. Oh, they're coming.
I think of like the time I wasted of the good Columbia Police Department.
Thousands of hours.
And the one, like, and like seriously, so like that story, I got by the time we like, let's burn a couch in our backyard.
Yeah,
we got
why
a
not?
bucket of water. I have so many times these cops came to our house for parties to break them up and be stupid. And this is before I was there, years before, you know what I mean? Like we had a lineage. And it turned out that one year at the start of the school year, it's like literally like Animal House 2. The sheriff is, or whatever, chief of police is like, we're cracking down on parties. That is a party house. Fuck it. And tell these guys, like, if you go by and anything's happening, you fucking nail these guys so they'll stop doing this. And so we went to a tailgate, had the paint can, did our thing, went to the Mizzou game, came back, and as you do after drinking all day and being in the sun, no, we went to sleep. Oh. Everybody came into the house and crashed, except for like one of our friends who sober, brought the keg back, put it down, and then one of our other friends showed up and they were just drinking on our porch, drinking off this keg or whatever. And I get woken up to just on my door, and it's like one of the guys, he's like, Miller, you got to come out here. I'm like, what is that? Why? What? I'm hungover. I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. He's like, the cops are here. I'm like, what the and I come on, like, what the fuck did you do? And they're like, nothing. We did nothing this time. And we went out there, and the cop had this guy go in and get everyone out of the house that lived there and put him on the porch. And he's just like giving this like militant speech, like, I came over here because I saw these people drinking on the porch. And the only thing he could get us for was that our keg, they had instituted this, I don't know if this is normal, these keg plastic tabs, like like little tickets on them, you know what I mean? So you knew the number of the keg so they could trace it back to who bought it, that kind of thing. It was like year one of this. And the only thing he could get us for was the fact that it was damaged. And he's like, I can't read the number. And I'm like, looking at it, you can clearly read the number. Like, I'm sorry, sir, but you can read, I can't read. And like this goes on. And I'm totally just like, yes, sir, no, sir. And of course, other people are like, trying to get smart about it. I'm like, guys, just let it go. What, you know, because what's he gonna do? He's not gonna get us for anything. No. He's like, we'll be watching this place, blah, 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 blah. And so that was Saturday. I wake up Sunday morning to go watch the Bears at Big 12 campus, and I get up an hour early to walk to the police department, ask for a complaint paperwork, and I sat there and wrote this 3-page essay about how this guy was targeting us for no reason, and the tag wasn't torn. I drew a description, and I had this whole thing of I printed off things. I'm like, and I'm like being all fucking assholey in it, of course. I'm like, and now I'm no keg tab lawyer, but I was able to use the number that I could clearly read to go to this website and find out who bought it and done it. And I had all these printouts and stuff, and I asked for a stapler and turned it in or whatever.
I asked for a stapler.
And the person immediately took the paper and just threw it in the fucking garbage.
Nope. 2 days later, I get a call from the chief of police or whatever.
You're kidding me.
And he's like, hey, I read through your report. I'm so sorry. Now, to you now as an adult, no, me as an adult to him.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. He's like, I understand what you're saying. He did, I think, he did go over the line, but that's when he's like, so we know about your house, and yeah, he crossed the line here probably, but we're fucking looking for you, and we're gunning for you. Like, don't fuck around.
Yeah, like, challenge accepted, motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know where I sleep?
It's like neighbors.
And so then, like 3 months later, though, there was like a community cop, like meet and greet kind of thing at one of the houses or whatever. It was going to talk about neighborhood problems. And I shit you not, me and one of the other roommates came and we walk up this long path. And as we get to the top of the stairs, it's the officer that I put the report in about. And all I hear is he's talking to his other officer friend, like looking at us, and he's like, yeah. So then they filed the report, and I got in trouble. And I was like, yeah, fuck you. And then we just walked past him and sat down and did that.
That guy was probably 25, right? Maybe a couple. How much older?
30. I would say he was 30.
And he's just like,
Officer
you
Valley.
fucking kids. You kids.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for cops now. I see cops now, and I'm just like,
You know,
No,
especially
see, here's my thing, man. I am sure that there is a ton of great ones out there. I've never dealt with any of them. Not once in my life.
well, it's because you thread the needle of what is and is not socially acceptable, especially in terms to the automobiles that you drive.
No, you're
with dog shit all over it?
No,
Like,
your
they're
old
just
car that
upset-
was like
oh,
had
okay.
no windows, no tires, no doors.
Yeah, but see, that's fucking
no
bullshit.
lights.
So here's
barely drove, and you were putting that fucker on the freeway for like 6
all right,
or 8
everybody,
hours
let him
now.
talk.
Here's the fucking thing, man. Like I've had appalling situations with cops throughout my entire life.
Sure.
And I'll be damned if I deserved a single one of them. Like, I did not do anything. Like, the worst things I've ever done in life, yeah, maybe those deserve some cop shit. They didn't stop me for those.
Yeah.
They're stopping me for some fucking bullshit. And it's like my little brother, he's gotten into some shit. But the shit that I've had to deal with because of that has been absolutely atrocious. I cannot believe they treat me the way that they're treating me based on that. Example, my brother gets arrested, right? Obviously, that fucking sucks. Not something I want to deal with whatsoever, but I have to. You know, I have to go try to get him out. I have to do all this stuff. They try to be the least helpful people in the entire world. Like, I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's arrested. Can you help me? Nope. They're treating me like I'm a fucking criminal. And I'm like, this is garbage. I fucking had to come here and talk to you. And they just treat me like, not even second-class citizen. They treat me like I'm evil. And I'm like, this is the last thing I need right now is to, on top of dealing with all this shit, on top of dealing with my like mom who's fucking just bawling in tears, I need to, no one will give me a straight answer. Like, fuck that. On top of that, there's been so many interactions I have where it's dealing with cops that have nothing better to do than just fuck with kids. And they see kids, so they're like, these guys are up to no good. And this is back before my brother did dumb shit. Him and his group of friends went and they're just hanging out on the streets, walking around doing stuff middle of the day after middle school, right? I get a call from one of them. Hey, the cops stopped us at this house or at this store. They think that we stole stuff. Like, I need you to come talk. And I'm like, sure. I go there and they're like, they stole stuff. And I'm like, what did they steal? I don't know, but they definitely stole something. And I'm like, they didn't steal anything. I know these kids. They definitely didn't steal anything. Next thing I know, I'm in handcuffs. And I'm like, and these motherfucking kids didn't steal shit. Like, I know they didn't steal anything. First off, the store that they were in, it's like, they're not fucking stealing shit from there. I'm like,
Joanne Fabrics.
it was such garbage. But then it's like, but they instantly, it's like, it's guilty till proven innocent. And it's like, at the very end of the day, it's like, they've wasted like 4 hours of my time putting me on the sidewalk in fucking handcuffs because they didn't like me telling them that. Me asking questions. It's always about the questions. And I'm nice. You know me. I'm not fucking talking shit to
You
this
do
cop.
have a prodding nature to yourself, though, when you ask questions that I feel like I'm not saying it necessitates handcuffs, but I could see a cop being like, this kid's got too many, he's too smart. He's getting me. I'm just going to put him in handcuffs, maybe a muzzle, and shut him up for a second.
Yeah, I don't know about
Am I wrong about that, Kevin?
No, yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, like that's not how that shit goes.
I don't know what I'm saying either. But I would rather probably you deal with the cops than you if I were in trouble. I would just think that.
Not
I don't know
anymore.
why.
I think both would
Look
be
at Tim.
handled well.
I don't know, man. I mean, definitely not. It never ends well for me. It's always fucking bullshit. Like every single time. The only good cop story I have is when the same group of kids bought from that store a bunch of BB guns and we're in the streets shooting each other with BB guns because that's what kids do. And some neighbor called the cops. Cops block off the street and pull guns on all of us. So it's just a bunch of kids fucking Because they had BB guns. That could have ended really, really
That could have
poorly.
ended very badly.
That story doesn't end with a laugh.
I mean, well, now looking back, like that was the one that we didn't get in trouble. Like we weren't doing anything illegal at that point, so it was like that was all fine. But then, yeah, you bringing up the car thing, it's like, yeah, my old car is a fucking piece of shit '92 Camry. I'd get pulled over every other night that I drove because they think I stole it, and that's the problem is I didn't. So it's like once they found out that I didn't, they should have left me alone instead of trying to fucking find reasons to get me in trouble. The worst thing that's ever happened to me, this is fucking bullshit, is I picked up one of my brother's friends, this kid Armani, who happens to be black, and we're driving, and I picked him up from Daly City BART, and we're trying to, like, I'm just trying to bring him to meet my brother, and I'm at a stop sign that my entire life, this is right next to Kevin's house. I've been here, driven here forever. I know there's a stop sign there. I fucking stop at that stop sign, and I keep going. A block later, a cop's behind me, and Armani's like, oh, fuck, man, there's a cop behind you. And I'm like, that's all good. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, we're fine. Whoop, whoop. I'm like, oh, shit. What did I do? He was like, what, does this happen a lot? I'm like, yeah, they're just going to run a thing, see if my car's stolen, and it's not going to be, and they're going to give me shit, and then they're eventually going to go away. And he comes over, and this cop, I fucking shit you not, looks at me and just goes, so I ran your things, and I thought it was stolen. And he, like, looks at Armani, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, this better not be going where I think this is going. And he was just like, and yeah, so it's not stolen, so that's all good, but you definitely missed that stop sign back there. And I was like, and Armani looked at me, and at this point, Armani's like, I'm not saying shit, you know? And I was just like,
I'm the black guy in the car. I'm not.
I was like, nah, I definitely didn't miss it. Like I think you're wrong. You know, I didn't say that. I forgot what I said, but I was like, nah, like I did that. I know that stop sign. I know what you're talking about. So, and he was just like, yeah, no, he's like, you know, honestly, man, I'm doing this for you. And like points to Armani. Yeah. He's like, I'm doing this for you. Like, so much injustice. Writes me a fucking ticket.
He said so much injustice?
So much fucking injustice is what I'll never forget.
Oh,
that.
so he wrote the white guy ticket. He wrote the white guy ticket to
balance the scale.
White dude.
He's balancing the scales.
Dude.
Here, I mean, I
was like fucking furious, man. It fucking sucked. Like everything about that sucked. And then I had to go to court and do all the shit, and I had to pay that.
Do you feel like that is it profiling, or do you feel like it's the area that you grew up in that you get all that? Because I definitely got probably more involved with. Well, I probably got stopped a lot more when I was living in Riverside than when I lived in the marina in San Francisco. So do you feel like it's because of the South San Francisco vibe?
Well, I mean, no, it's absolutely profiling. I mean, a lot of those stories were San Francisco proper.
Really?
In the Richmond district, and like that was because we're kids. Yeah. Like that was profiling against kids for sure. Which, I mean, it's it's hard. Like there are kids out there.
You did look like Eminem when you were growing up.
Not true. At this point, I didn't. So it was like, anyways. And even if I did, like, fuck that. That's
profiling.
See, I'm terrified of your lot's police. So like in London, I'd been there all my life. I had no care for.
They don't carry guns.
They don't carry guns. But I just never really had any run-ins with them. Like I don't have a cool cop story. And then I've only been here on and off for 2 years. And like for me, officers, the reason the fear starts, it starts at the airport for me. Customs officers and immigration officers, they fucking love me.
They're hardcore.
They're so lovely to me.
It's because you tick off a lot of boxes, unfortunately.
Exactly. I'm a walking stereotype. Yeah. And I remember I literally 2 weeks ago coming into LAX, it was, I was at passport control or whatever. And he was like, why are you coming to LA? I was like, oh, I'm here to do some press and stuff. Oh, for what? I'm in a TV show. Which one? iZombie? Oh, after The Flash. I was like, yeah, that's my show, man. iZombie. He's like, I should watch that. I didn't realize you're in there. I was like, yeah, I am. He goes, do you travel much? Well, I guess, man. Vancouver and stuff, like, because of the filming. How about Iraq? Or Iran? Or Pakistan? And started listing all these countries. And I was like, oh, that escalated. Like, that's right.
What the damn? Holy shit.
No. And he was like, cool. All right, off you go. And I was like, you're going to check with these guys if they've been to Iraq or just me? Like, and so having that, I just didn't ever want to fuck with the police in North America, full stop.
Sure.
And then I stupidly bought the Mad Max soundtrack and a Mustang for my season 2. And I was speeding during the Tom Hardy music, and I got pulled over for speeding at gunpoint, which I thought again was excessive.
No, that's not you. That's not how I get pulled over for speeding.
For speeding.
No.
So he pulled me over, and was like, and and I was with an actor on the show, and it was like 5 a.m. We were driving to set, and woo, because I did drive like a dickhead. I was being a dickhead. I was going way too. My car makes a lot of noise as well when it accelerates. It looks faster than it probably is, and we pull over, and we hear screams, which is to put our hands outside the window. This is for speeding. So we are both like this with our hands out. And as he comes, he's like so upset with me. Wants my license. I'm like, cool, officer. It's in the backpack on the back seat there. And he's like, reach for it slowly. He gets his gun out. This is all for a driver's license, which I give to him. He asked me why I was speeding. And this was the crazy thing. He, once everything was done, didn't write me a ticket. He let me go. And I was abusing that speed limit. And I could only think the reason he was pissed is because he had no way to prove it. But yeah, I'm not.
Do you? I mean, that's weird. That's a hard situation to be in. That was he by himself or did he have a partner?
He was on his own.
Yeah, so that's probably why.
And I was like, either he just found out someone who looks like me nailed his wife, or he's the biggest Walking Dead fan. Our show cancelled his show. Some shit. The aggression I got,
or maybe he just.
And then I got pulled over again for the Mad Max thing, and I stopped listening to Mad Max in the car.
Stop listening to that fucking soundtrack.
Why would you do that?
It's this one song called like Brother and something like that. It plays when they're like shooting shotguns on the motorbikes and stuff. And I did it again. I got caught with a speed gun. This dude, super sweet, wrote me a ticket. So I think this guy just really hated my face or my car.
Maybe he just watched Gone in 60 Seconds and was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Fucking Mustangs.
Fucking Mustangs.
His pilot got canceled because of
Because
Zombie
of
got
iZombie.
picked up. Yeah.
What color is the Mustang?
Black. The insurance people asked that because they said red is the car.
Red's the one, yeah.
Red's the big flag for
That's
anything.
the one.
But
The second, yeah. That's unacceptable. That's
no, I
fucked up.
in all fairness, like I'm not saying I was I was speeding. And in Canada, everything's kilometers. And I drove my car from Los Angeles. And I know this wasn't a good excuse for the police officer who kind of laughed when I told him. I was like, I thought when it said 60, I didn't realize, I was looking at my speedometer, which is in miles. So I'm always having to remember that's not what I'm matching. And I think that's a valid excuse.
That is valid.
Like you look at a speed sign, you're like 30. And I just remember, oh, no, wait. Because,
Gotta do math.
I think there's still kilometers though on your.
Yeah, but they're smaller.
I think they put them there though. If I'm not mistaken, I think my car.
No,
has
they're
them
there. They're there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. They're smaller.
That's scary though. I've never had a gun pulled on me before.
But what's awesome is that we have when we shoot on location, with the Vancouver police are great. They shut down the block and they have to park, just to keep traffic from going in. And I'm still waiting for the dude who pulled a gun on me and my castmate to just be on set looking after and be like, oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, do you want something from the crafty service? You want muffins or some shit?
Too bad.
Yeah.
Walk over and drop it at his
you
foot.
get coffee and cold donuts. Oh wait, that's good. They don't want coffee and cold donuts.
What?
I don't know, dude. I'm tired. It's been a long week.
What? Cold donuts are fine.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you'd like them
I was gonna
hot,
say
or-
coffee and. I said
Cold
coffee and
coffee.
cold. That's what I meant.
What if it was iced coffee?
Cold coffee and like warm donuts.
Have
That's
you guys
the
ever
worst.
tried poutine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Please.
my God. Fuck. Being in London, like the kebab is the drunk food. Like you get a doner kebab at 4 a.m, 3 a.m. The poutine has just risen in rank for me. Like nothing beats cheese curds. And
Is it
gravy.
big in Vancouver though? Because I mean I've only had it in Montreal.
Well, Montreal's like the place, right?
Yeah.
It's still big.
Really?
Yeah, it's just the best. I ate it 4 nights a week
There you
before
go.
we wrapped, and that's why I'm now.
We're
having to do
big pizza
gym.
culture here. After
in,
hours.
in San Fran.
Yeah, it's always because that's all it's open. Like you get pizza or either that or street meat, which you probably don't want.
That doesn't sound right.
No, it's either
hot dog.
no, but it's people.
you call
that-
it street
I call it
meat.
street meat because it's
Lady
people
out there
that are
just on a little grill. It's like made of tinfoil. She's cooking hot dogs and bacon.
I love that.
Oh,
not probably sanctioned to do it.
No,
Doesn't have a
no,
license
she doesn't
to
have
do
a
it.
permit,
She
for
just
sure.
comes in with a little propane tank, a little grill, and you can smell it from like
Paint
3
can.
blocks away. Yeah.
Oh man, if she was serving paint
During
can
a
out
fucking
there.
stick.
New one, new wave. Colin, you got any cop stories?
Yeah, few. Well, the one I'll talk about is Richmond Airport in 2002 in Virginia. I don't know if I ever told this story on this show. Of course, the most famous cop story we have is Ramon's that he told.
What was in your
about the
bed,
Bart Simpson
Ramon?
bomb. which is a classic.
I think I missed that
Northeastern
one. That was the
store.
one episode I was not on with Ramon.
Yeah, when with Ramon with the Bart Simpson bong. It's a good one. At Richmond Airport, I flew there. My sister has lived there for a long time. Dana, my other sister, and my mom all live there now too. But we were going to visit her, and I was flying out of Richmond back to Long Island, and this was like I flew a lot as a kid because my mom worked for Delta and all this kind of stuff when I was younger. But this was my first time flying after 9/11, and they wanted to go through my bag, and I said no. And got into this like huge argument with the TSA. My first of many arguments with the TSA.
You said no.
Yeah.
You can't say no.
And they were like, I'm like, they're like, we're going through your bag. And I'm like, I have Fourth Amendment rights. It's an illegal search. You don't have a warrant. And you're not going through my bag. You're an agent of the government. And I was a senior in high school at the time.
This is Colin.
I'm writing this down.
And
I would recommend you don't do that.
and so the story's like kind of getting vaguer in my mind as time goes on. But I was like pulled over to the side, and then these two like cops, I think they were state troopers with like their like big hats, came over. Like, what's going on here, son, or whatever. And I'm like, they want to go through my stuff, and they, no one's going through my bag, and they're like, do you know what happened in New York? Son, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm from New York. Yeah, I know what happened. And he's like, oh, son, do you understand the gravity? Like this kind of stuff. And I'm like, sir, my father was an FDNY firefighter. He was there. Do you understand what happened that day? And like all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I knew people that died. Do you know anyone? Like, do you understand what happened that day? And they ended up like, after like some back and forth, just were like, you can go. That was basically it.
That's awesome.
Never. Yeah. You're like my hero for that. Like,
and I remember my sister, like, it was so long ago. I mean, it was like 14 years ago now. My sister, I was with my sister, Allie, and I remember her just standing there. And it was kind of like a point of pride, I think, for like, my father being a very conservative man, but also a New York City firefighter. I just thought it was like very condescending the way they were talking to me. And I was just like not really familiar with like the new protocols about going to the airport. And I'm like, well, you're not going through my shit. Like we don't have that kind of contract, that social contract in the United States. Like we have constitutional rights against government agents putting their fucking hands in my bag,
Right.
So like, and I don't know, I have nothing to hide. I'm a fucking high school kid, but just principle, you're not going through my bag.
Yeah.
And that was the first of many a run-in I had with the TSA.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say
fucking assholes.
Every time we go to the airport together, you have some interaction with the TSA that makes me glad I went ahead of you and not before you.
The best is when he does
I'm
the
like,
clap.
just let me get through first.
We get up just into earshot range. He goes, okay, time for security theater. And like the agents look at him like, here we go.
And I would feel so bad for the TSA people if I didn't also hate them as much as you do.
Hands.
But it's not because I don't hate them because of any sort of like rights violation. I just hate them because I can tell they don't want to be there either. But they're still enforcing these dumb shit policies that don't work. And every single time they're just like, I have to, I have my pants cuffed and I go through the dick scanner. The thing you shimmy into, and they're like, put your hands up a little more. I'm like, yeah, it's going to fucking stop it. Cool, boom. Get through. And I'm like, my pants are clearly cuffed. And the guy's like, the woman was like, I have to bring over a male person to touch your ankle. And I'm like, cool, I'll wait here for another 5 minutes. You could touch my ankle if you want. She's like, no, sir, it doesn't work that way. I'm like, of course it doesn't fucking work that way. Of course it doesn't work that way. I got to get to my Starbucks. Come on, lady.
The TSA, I want to be really clear, and I've said this before, the TSA has never done anything. They've never stopped anyone. These are the fucking idiots standing in between us and Al-Qaeda and us and ISIS and all the, yeah. I'm sure that the really smart people that coordinated that massive attack in multiple cities in 2001 would have no idea how to deal with these fucking geniuses. Like, give me a break. Like, it's like so over the top and so ridiculous how they like, I get so furious when I'm at the fucking airport. Well, these are nice people. I'm sure they're mostly nice, fine people. I've had very kind interactions with these people. I do not antagonize them unless they fucking say something to me. I really don't. I'm a please and thank you. How are you doing? Here's my ID. That's totally fine. Let's not talk. I'll put my bag through the conveyor belt. I think that's totally fine. I'll walk through the machine. Fine. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Don't touch my bag. That's totally fine. But like, we submit to this police state fucking tactic. Meanwhile, all of their things are responses to things that happened because they didn't stop them. Like the reason we take our shoes off is because the guy tried to blow up a fucking plane with his shoes because they didn't stop him.
Right.
So now they have to like do. Remember, like the whole laptop thing is another like thing where you have to put a laptop. It's like these guys have no idea what the fuck is going on. They cannot.
very
As I tweeted
reactionary.
out, like for $7 billion a year, they like can't even put a fucking bag on a conveyor belt properly. We give these guys $7 billion every year, and we pay our little 9/11 fees and all these kinds of things. And then in Richmond Airport, they're being condescending to me when I have a way closer connection to the event of those days, and they talk to me like I don't know what the fuck's going on because I'm a kid. You know, like
Yeah, I mean,
like
to be fair, they manage to at least put the bag on the conveyor belt most of the time.
No, you do that. You
No, yeah, right. They don't do fucking shit. Are you kidding me?
Join me in San Diego Airport and see how efficient that was when I was there trying to come to Austin to see you guys in Texas. Like the point is like there's like people with jobs to do and all those kinds of things, and I honest to God, I mean, we tell these stories, but I've never just gone and antagonize someone for no reason. But when I see them making an old person getting out of a fucking wheelchair and searching their, like, leave them alone, man. You know, like these people aren't doing anything wrong.
But Colin, like, and this isn't to excuse that, because I remember my grandmother had the same thing. She was taken out of her wheelchair to be searched. But like for the thing is, the TSA, the people that do these jobs, the general public, there are some fucking dickheads. And for every hour or time wasted we have, some dickhead tried to bring a machete in their hand luggage and didn't understand why that was an issue. You know what I mean? I always feel like and I'm always saying to myself, like, we don't know what kind of dumb shit. I mean, obviously the terrorist attacks and things like that, you know, they weren't able to prevent those that have happened. But I'm talking about the like carrying things on board, the dumb shit that people try and pull. That, like, I'm always seeing a delay because some prick knows that this bag isn't going to fit in here, and they're doing this the 50th time that day. Of, dude, you need to check that. It like that. I kind of always excuse that and how anal they can be sometimes, just because of how stupid people are.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I want to be clear too. When I go to other countries, like I remember when I went to Germany, one of the times I was in Germany, they went through all my shit, and I'm like,
It's Germany.
I'm like, yeah, well, it's not only that I don't know what German law is, but I'm like, I'm a guest here, like. That's fine. Like, if you want to search my shit, I've gone through customs in London, I've gone through customs in Germany, I've gone through customs in Iceland, I've gone through customs in Japan. It's like, do whatever you want. You know, like, I'm a guest in your country. I don't have constitutional rights here. But when I'm in the United States, it's like, well, someone needs to stand up. And there are people that stand up. We were talking about Penn and Teller the other day because they're very like about this too, where it's like, you are just shitting on us in this line, like just going through our things, cutting open our locks, like doing all this kind of stuff to find these things, and you guys haven't stopped fucking anyone, you know? And
that we know of. I'm sure at some point something's happened that maybe we didn't catch wind of.
Maybe you think that for some good press they might say that.
That's probably true.
So like it's like I don't mean to be a dick about the TSA, and I didn't mean to be a dick to those cops in Richmond, and I don't think I came off as a dick. I think I came off as stern, like at the time, and thinking about it was such a long time ago, like as stern and knowledgeable, and kind of like put them back on their heels a little bit, having not been in the post 9/11 environment. The only reason we were flying down there and not driving was because it was so fucking cheap, as you guys remember, to fly. It was like ridiculously cheap to fly in 2002 and 2003. I remember getting here and back from JFK and for like literally like $150 in like 2003. So it's one of those things where like someone has to stand up and be like, well, we don't submit to the fucking terrorists by like removing our rights and like submitting to constitutional infringements, because like they can be like, well, when you fly, you don't have Fourth Amendment rights. And it's like, okay, so do I have First Amendment rights when I fly? Or do I just give those to you too? You know, what's the something I'm saying? Like, well, your speech has to kind of be toned down now too, or like you can't express yourself anymore. You can't wear a t-shirt, or you can't say a certain thing anymore. And I'm like, well, that's just not acceptable to me. So you have to stop at the fucking first line, you know?
Sure.
And
again, that's why.
So like, I have no problem going through security. I think that's totally reasonable because it makes everyone else feel good. But you're dealing with pretty fucking chaotic and pretty sophisticated people if the Paris attacks and the Brussels attacks show you anything, you know? And like, it's just scary that we want to live in this sanitized and safe world when it's just not possible. And to get there, we have to go to an Orwellian place. And I don't like it. So I stopped when I was 17 years old. I said that to them. And I never had a confrontation anywhere remotely like that with the TSA ever since then. But I'll say a snide remark or two when I see someone getting fucking harassed, someone felt up by some people when they're clearly just, they don't even know what's going on. Some old man or some elderly woman or some fucking single mom with 4 kids. Like, just leave them alone. Yeah. You know, like they're just trying to get from point A to point B, as is almost everyone else. And if like, I don't know, it's so frustrating to me, like this culture of fear, and it's like all perpetrated at the airport. It's like a lot of that kind of shit kind of starts and ends. Like if you go to a new location, you're going through Oh, like a
that's the problem though. Like they're trying, like, and we've been to a few instances now where they're trying new things, right? Like I've been a couple times where Virgin's trying to get you through without having to take the shoes off, and like we were in, forget where we were at, where they had the dogs that were
Seattle
coming around.
has the dogs.
Seattle has the dogs, which is great.
And
So,
Austin
like,
now, something I thought was weird is this is the first time I saw it. There's a sign that was like, you can have bottled liquid if you put it through a different scanner.
Oh, really?
And I was like, that's the first I've seen.
But
of
the
that.
acid.
But see, that's the problem. Is like now they're changing all the rules.
They make up the rules as they go
Yeah,
along.
exactly.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
that's the
put
problem.
the iPad on the thing. Put the iPad in the thing. Doesn't need to come out. Put them in horizontal. Put them in vertical. Like, what are you talking about?
true story. I've gone through the last 3 times with my hair gel, and it's 3.4
Oh
ounces.
my god.
And I managed to get that.
That was
through.
part of the Penn and Teller bit too. Like their whole thing. I brought back Colin this little metal card. That's the Bill of Rights or whatever that they want you to have in your pocket. So you go through the scanners and fuck it up, and you make a big deal like giving your rights away. But they went through all the things that like you can't take through, and the other things you can. And one of them was like this hairbrush that was like clearly a shiv. Like no problem there. You can take that through because it's plastic, and they would never know, and it doesn't matter because it hides in. You can buy, and they were selling all of it in the gift shop. Of like you can get all this stuff just to show them how meaningless they are.
It's the same thing. Like it's the American tactics are always the same. I hate to say it. Like the terrorist attacks in 2001 were one thing, so we invade 2 countries, right? Like this thing happens at home, so we make everyone try to feel better by like look at all the money we're spending and look at all the machinery and the people with the assault rifles. Don't you feel safe? And it's like, no, I feel like you guys are like turning this place into fucking Animal Farm, you know? And I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm always going to fight against that. Doesn't mean you have to like, I'm a son of a civil servant, and I don't think you have to like be disrespectful to I haven't had like super bad encounters with cops on a day-to-day basis ever. I know a lot of cops. And I know a lot of firefighters, obviously, and they deserve respect, and they deserve the money they make, and all those kinds of things. It's just to say, like, you should fight against a corrupt system, you know?
See, my only issue, the thing that gets my rub is that someone who looks like me, who I'm, you know, and I know you can't take each case individually, but has a British passport, has a name that has no kind of affiliation with the Middle East or anything like that. My name is completely Indian. With a work visa to do a filming there is still visually profiled. I'm being profiled visually. Like the reason I'm being stopped and you are searching my luggage, and the reason why you're asking me if I've been to Iraq is because I'm brown and I have a beard. And it's so obvious, and it's just on the nose. And it's one of the only and it's kind of accepted. It kind of is just the norm.
It's a punchline.
It's it's just like if you know, I wasn't ever pulled over by the police. Now my best friend Haynes, he's Jamaican, he's a black guy. As soon as I started going to drama school with him, we got pulled over once a week, and I was like, "Fuck, you're right. This isn't a myth. You were pulled over way more than anyone, and your car is so inconspicuous. There's nothing about you. You're not driving a fucking Lamborghini. People are wondering how you.
I think if you were driving a Lamborghini, you probably wouldn't get pulled over at all because people were like, "This guy's rich," unless you're black, and then they probably just think like, "This guy's a drug dealer."
Worse, exactly.
Yeah.
So in that respect, the same uproar there is with that. It's happening at airports and customs lines everywhere. I've forever been taken away from the line to go somewhere else because I have to have my bags opened. And I know, Colin, you said like obviously when you're more accepting, and I think you're right as well. You are more accepting when you're in a foreign territory because you're a guest and you could be bringing foreign foods. That there are so many reasons to have those flags.
Smuggling a koala.
And I am a guest here. I am a guest in Vancouver, in Canada. I'm a guest in America. But it is still. Anywhere I go, I still feel like it's visual. I'm being profiled because of that.
Yeah.
And I get nervous when I'm on a plane because I feel like maybe then it gets in my head. I'm sitting next to them and I'm like, they think something. I have to be very careful now not to look shady because now I feel people around me are unsettled. And the last time I put iZombie on the plane just so they'd look over at the screen.
You're like
and go,
pointing. You're like,
"Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Like,
cool.
you
You
look
can
like
breathe
that
easy
guy."
for 10 hours, dude. Look, there's me.
See, but you got
Yeah, but maybe that's the new tactic is to
Oh my
get someone
God.
in a TV show.
You're playing the long con.
You can just open your
Mind
mouth
blown.
though too, because like people will be like visually scared. Oh, he's British.
Nothing
but
bad's
even
ever come out of
that,
England.
even that dude at the LAX thing, he knew.
Yeah, well,
he was
that's
like,
weird.
oh my God, after the Flash.
Yeah, but I mean you can totally see that's just the wheels clicking in of like, oh, I know you, cool, you're a TV guy, but you still look this certain way. And I'm talking about on a plane.
okay,
on
yeah.
a plane, you got somebody nervous next to you, be like, oh, boy, governor, spot a tea.
Yeah, I remember the same
work
thing.
on that
Like, in
accent,
London,
Greg.
we had the 7/7 attacks, which took place on public transport. And fuck, the next year, I had so much room on a packed tube or a bus. The amount, and it was real, and I'd never experienced that. I would get on, and I had a beard then. I would get onto public transport, and it could be rush hour, and for some reason I'd still have a good
Have like a halo.
foot of space. Just people you could just feel it. It wasn't like a huge thing. People didn't get off the carriage, but you could feel that tension and that suspicion. And who do you? I can't blame anyone for that. I mean, it's just in our nature. I get, it's a tough one, but it's still a profiling.
Yeah, it's what I think it was Benjamin Franklin said, those who sacrifice security for liberty liberty for security deserve neither liberty or security. And I think that's an apt quote. I'd rather live in a more dangerous world that's more free. Like that's I'm always going to feel that way, because you're going to get like, everyone looks at the United States, and you probably have good insight into this because you have a lot of experience in North America. But a lot of people, I think, with our own fans, when I'm on the Facebook group or whatever, talking about, like, they think it's like everyone's got a fucking gun. Like it's like Wild West out there. Everyone's got a gun strapped to them. I'm like, it's really, really not like that. I hate to tell you.
Put one pin in that, because topic number 4 talks about that.
Okay.
Topic number 4 also comes from.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Can I watch?
Yes.
And do one too?
Sure. There's another bathroom you want to go. Let's all take a
please,
bathroom. Final topic comes also from patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can go and support us and get your topic read. No, there's nothing there.
There'll be something there.
Well, there'll be something. I don't know if now my iPad has 1% power, so I need to read through this
Go
question.
quick, Greg, go.
All right. Oh my God, I'm opening it. A lot of pressure. This one comes from Daniel Brady. He says, customs and culture. After having traveled from New Zealand to America and Mexico for a few weeks in January, I experienced some customs that are not very common in New Zealand. The two main ones I realized were the overall outgoing attitude in comparison to New Zealand, parentheses, where we tend to be much more reserved and laid back, and the existence of a tipping culture. I found these two cultural differences novel and interesting, even though to you guys it's considered normal. What are some customs you have run into during your travels? Were they positive? Have you experienced any form of culture shock? Did it before it died. And I thought this would be a good one for you,
Oh, it's perfect.
Mr. Britain.
Yeah.
So what's America like? Is it cool? Do you love it? Do you want to move here forever?
I do like it. It took a while to adjust. It was really small things had started. First, it was like I knew when I had first started doing the show that when I was socializing, people weren't understanding what I was saying.
Ah, yeah.
And I knew that they were fake laughing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew that you didn't catch what I just said. You just said yeah and laughed, having to speak slower. Just because obviously with any accent, when you come, like, you have to adjust slightly. You can't just be lazy with it and fast.
Right.
But like there was a few words I had to just jettison from my vocabulary. What we call cigarettes, that had to go.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That did not go
Not
down
here.
well. It means bundle of
depending on
sticks
where you're
and-
at in the United States, you probably be accepted or not accepted. But in California, you're probably not going to.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones when I said I was going for one or needed some or something. And so basically, I was like, oh, okay, that's never happening again.
Yeah.
Tipping was one.
Yeah.
That was a big one. We just don't tip.
But you're like, wait,
Or
I
if
just
we
paid for
do,
this
we don't
meal.
even have like a set percentage. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, the meal was good. Put down a couple of quid.
I feel bad about tipping in other countries. I mean, like, about not tipping, because I just feel like I ought to always tip, and my wife now has to sign the bills for me because I will automatically give people 20% on
same.
everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, you just don't do that here. Like, they don't expect it. Why would you do it? And I'm like, I don't know.
I
some
wanna be the nice
compulsive-
American.
No, it's not even about being nice. It's some weird, like, I don't understand. I didn't take the time to really understand their culture. So I'm going to default to what I know because I don't want to insult anyone, even though what I know is probably might be insulting them. But I don't know. I just can't see how it would be if someone just hadn't handed you extra money. But in Japan, you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's that's like an insult to them.
I love in Japan the tray, where they don't want the money never goes hand to hand, right? You take the money and you put it in the tray, and then they take it out of the tray.
Very
And then they'll
respectful.
if they have change, they'll come and they'll put the change in the tray, and then you take the change out of the tray.
Wait, anytime if I'm not mistaken, but when they hand you things, it's always with two hands,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But even when they're presenting it into the tray, or they pick up the tray for you
Right.
to take it, it's always two
See,
hands.
because I've always, even in the UK, I never carry cash. I never have. Like, we had, like, the banking here is really different to the banking back home. It's real simple. We've had that tap for ages.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Chip and pin. We never have to sign for anything. So we've always been like, when I came over here, swiping, signing, all of the banking stuff felt really backwards to a certain degree for me and a bit incompatible. But tipping forced me to carry dollars because I never had to tip. So if you took my bags from my car to my hotel, even in the UK, I didn't really tip. And now, after a year, I've had to learn everywhere I go, do we have enough cash just to palm in someone's hand? Like the palming in the hand thing, I'm still...
Yeah, I'm still not really quite. I mean, when I'm
if
in
you're a
Vegas,
valet and
yeah.
you've got my car, I'm supposed to...
Yeah, with that
What I-
maybe, but that's the weird thing. It's like, why Why do we have to do that? I don't
they did it for
understand.
you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not tipping for a lot of things I should be.
You're probably
That's
not.
how I feel.
Like I tip for food constantly.
Sure.
Of course.
That's normal. I don't
Haircuts.
know.
Where you come down to haircuts?
Oh, haircuts I tip because but that's something I grew up. You did that.
See,
That's
I
part
didn't.
of
I
the
mean, we grew up
process.
going to Wayne's, obviously. Wheaton, Illinois. What up, Wayne? And, Dad would give him like $2. He had two haircuts. And I remember when I told Jim Riley that. And Jim Riley, who's like, eats at McDonald's every day. And I was like, oh, no. You got to tip more than that for a haircut. And ever since then, I've tipped more. Because I was like, I'm behind the times on this. I got a good haircut. They gave me a head massage.
It's turning into, like, my experience with this is it's turning into like Robert De Niro and Goodfellas.
Yeah.
You know, that entrance where
yeah.
everyone's getting something in the pocket, and the more and more I'm seeing it, the more I'm feeling like bad that I haven't been doing it. Like we get up in Vancouver, the clubs look after us. You know, we go out a lot in the evenings because it's what we do, and if they let us through ahead of the line, like I saw one of our crew just be like, "Thank you so much," and then there's an exchange of tip, and I realized for a year I haven't even been doing that. I've been going, "Thanks for all the VIP service and great things, giving you nothing." So it's like now I'm just getting to a point where I think I have to do it for everything. Like I should really, like, for having me here, I feel bad. I should be like,
You should probably tip us.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/ kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you in the club thing, that sounds a little crazy though, because you guys are celebrities, and club owners generally would want that vibe of like, hey, there's celebrities here, so other people want to come to it. So I can understand not having to tip for that, because there is that quid pro quo of you are using your celebrity, and we are going to obviously promote the fact, or it's going to be word of mouth promoted that you guys go there often.
But I think that's different though, because it's still the people you're tipping. You're not tipping the establishment, you know?
Sure, but most people who are at doors for things would recognize people. Like that's their job, right? Their job is to get people of a certain like level of esteem or looks inside of a club, so that when people get there, they create that sort of like fear of missing out, right? Like, oh my God, we just saw the entire cast of iZombie walk in there. That's awesome. We have to be in there now. People's texting, tweeting, whatever. Now this club's hot. I mean, that's theoretically how it's supposed to work. That's why they pay Kim Kardashian like $500,000 to show up for like 5 seconds to a club, and then she goes away. I'm not saying you do that on purpose. I'm just saying that.
But like I guess like it still hasn't sat well, like that whole the term celebrity or the term like anything that, because I am on TV.
Yeah,
I am on a show right now. So, you know, if I go to a certain place or something like that, like especially in Vancouver because they know we're there, yeah, we are jumping the line. We are, okay. And you could argue, well, yeah, they want you inside because you can tweet about it, or people see you and go, oh, this is the place to be, because if people on TV are going there. But it still feels a bit dirty. I don't know.
Sure.
But
it's not, you're not doing it. You're not doing, I mean, as long as you're not capitalizing off
I think
it.
I will. I think what's going to happen is, and it's only human, like when enough people spoil you, you start, and that it hasn't happened yet, but I can see it with with people who've been around for a long time. You start expecting it, and you get the short temper. Like it's starting, and it's like how it's almost unavoidable, because now I've noticed if we are going out and we see a line that might only be 5-6 people deep, and in London I would wait half an hour to 45 minutes to get in somewhere. Now it's like we're not going there because we have to line up, and you can feel that change happening where you're starting to, if it's not, I don't know, if you're not getting special treatment and you're used to it.
But there's also something to be said for like, and I can see why that would be a weird area for you, because there's something also to be said for like, what is it a good look if you are waiting in line? You being not a, I mean, we're not going to use the name celebrity. We'll take celebrity out of it, but you are of a more elevated status probably on the nightclub scene in Vancouver than most people who go there because of what you do. Your career is cool. You're on TV. It's cool, right? So like, there might be a little bit of pressure, not necessarily for you, but maybe for some of your fellow castmates, to be like, I don't know if we want to be seen as like the 50th people in this line, because it's not, I don't know, maybe it doesn't add to the mystique of what it is to be a television actor. I don't know. I'm not putting words in your mouth.
I was just thinking about it. I mean, it's such a wanky thing to try.
Because I can't stand waiting in line. And I'm not near the celebrity that you are. And no one knows me, but if I see a line, I'm like, just on general principle, I'm not waiting that fucking line.
The other week he swore off going to his local Starbucks. He said, I'll never come back.
The line was too fucking long.
The manager tried to give him free coffee, and he said, I'll never come back.
Haven't gone back yet. It's been 3 weeks.
See, I don't know if
I've been fiending for that place, but I can't go back.
For me, I'm always happy to wait in line. I still am, because in London, that's a custom and culture here. I've noticed is I think you guys are so much nicer. Your bouncers and doormen and are so much sweeter, because my friends flew out to meet me and they went out without me. So it wasn't like people recognized, because that doesn't even happen. But they felt, just as guys, tourists that didn't open their mouth or show an English accent, any of that stuff, the guys were just sweeter. In London, it's brutal trying to get into a place. We've had clubs not let us in, and I will badmouth London for this in certain areas where we weren't allowed to go in because tonight wasn't our night type of people. It's just a group of ethnic boys weren't allowed into a club.
Really?
Yeah. And the doorman who was doing it to us was an ethnic minority, but only letting in Caucasian people into the club. So we've had all sorts of crap. We never know what the rules are. Like, you can wear shoes. You can only wear shoes, but those are Dr. Martens. They don't count. Like, you could, for any reason whatsoever, you could be just not let in and your whole night shot. LA has been great. LA, everyone just feels way more relaxed about that whole clubbing culture, and I'm more than happy to wait.
LA is also a lot more about networking, and you don't really necessarily know who you're kicking out. So I think I've found a lot like that people will be a little bit more gracious to everyone around, because you never know if the dude wearing flip flops is in the next fucking Hobbit. You know, you're like, I don't know who this guy is. Let's let him in. You know, you never know. I don't know.
The one interesting experience I've had with that, with like, because I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to be a celebrity. I want like that's I like to lay. I would always want to be under the radar no matter what happened. Is hanging out with someone I consider one of my very best friends, Eric Castro, who's owns a bar, Polite Provisions in San Diego. It's nominated for a James Beard Award, and he owns Boilermaker in New York City. So he's a high-end cocktail bar guy, and you guys know him if you listen to the show, or whatever. But I go out to eat with him all the time. Aaron and I go out with him and his wife, and it's so interesting watching the interplay between industry types in that world, and I just get to kind of benefit from it, just being his friend. And it's really interesting and quite fun, but also quite uncomfortable in the same sense, because I'm like when I go to Polite Provisions, like I try, but like no one lets me pay for anything. Like I go to Soda and Swine next door to get food, like they're Eric's just like, put it on my tab, like I don't know, like I just want to like pay you like for and you like be like, go to the cabinet and pick out like whatever bourbon you want, and he's like, you want Pappy and like ancient age and all this like really rare bourbon, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, can I pay? Or like, and nothing like that. But like in San Diego, just going down there to see Aaron all the time, we go to these crazy restaurants and get these crazy experiences, and it comes back to this point of tipping, because people just like, I went to one restaurant where they just kept giving us food and drinks, like, and it was because Eric will take care of them when they go to their bar, and it's just the way it works, whatever. It's kind of gets everyone kind of trying everyone's food and drinks or whatever, and it's a really cool and laid back vibe. But then we get the bill, and the bill is like $50. And then I leave like $150 tip.
Yeah, you gotta do it
because it's like it's insane. And so that's, I think, where tipping comes in too, and especially because there is no quid pro quo for me in that, because I am not in that industry. Like I can only speak with my dollars, but typically, I try not to put myself in situations where I have to tip. Like at a hotel, like no, don't touch my bags. Like I'm not having this interplay with you. Like if I'm in the bathroom, like I'll get my own towel. Like I don't like that uncomfortable shit where it's like I'm putting myself in, like they're inserting people where you feel bad that you have to tip them, and I'm like, I really don't need you to carry my bags to my room. I don't like, it's uncomfortable for me. I don't care how nice this hotel is.
The guy in the bathroom always gets worse.
Yeah, that shit annoys us. That shit annoys me. But I will say this, because to Eric's point, because we've talked and gone back and forth and share articles about tipping and not tipping in some restaurants. Joe Bastianich, I think is his name, the guy that used to be on MasterChef or whatever, tried, I think, at his restaurants to get rid of tipping, and like they actually, I think, went back. I think it was him, because like there's a sticker shock to it. Because if you're paying either way, like the person coming in is paying for those people, those waitresses and those waiters and that hostess and all that kind of stuff. But if you show them at the top what they're actually paying, if that steak goes from $40 to $55, there's like a sticker shock, as opposed to on the back end, you don't really think about it anymore.
Right.
And I will say this, having dined in many foreign countries, I guess now we're not many, but every foreign country I've ever been to, the service here is like superior to anywhere else. Like it's not even a fucking question. If you go to a high end restaurant, you are paying for what you get, and when there's an incentive to work, and you know that there could be a 25% or 30% tip instead of a 15% tip, and just based on whatever's happening, then I think that's great, because especially in Germany, I found the service to be atrocious, and Iceland, the service was atrocious, and
that's because we're used to a different level, like a different pace of service in the States.
I have to admit with Colin, I know service has beaten America, like in terms of restaurants and stuff like that. Nothing I've ever been to, even high-end restaurants in or fancy places in London or Paris, nothing compares to just general US service.
Interesting.
And the big, like, again, another big culture shock for me here was people asking me, talking talking was a big one because in London we don't talk, and I think New York has a similar vibe. I understand talking to people from New York. There isn't a whole lot of interaction on the subway and stuff like that. But when you are like, again, Vancouver, I know that's obviously Canada, but in LA and stuff, walking into a restaurant being asked how your day was, and they're waiting for the response. Because normally, how are you is a greeting, and it isn't a question. It's just, how you doing? How you doing? And then get to the business. Whereas in America, that was one of the first things was like, hey, how was your day? Oh, good. Yeah. You? And they'll tell you. And that was a big culture shock for me. Like, you guys really communicate. And the service is so much. And then when I went back home, everyone was just a piece of shit to me. I was like, well,
Fuck this place.
fucking service. Like, this is, that was a big one for me. There was so much more interaction and friendliness. Whether it's genuine or fake, it doesn't, I mean, or there's monetary incentives is another thing, but that was a big change.
Well, I get very, 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 very angry when the service isn't good, especially when I know when there's because I used to serve food all throughout college and a little bit after when I was getting my video career to where it's at right now, this illustrious career we have right now,
top of the line,
Greg's spare bedroom. But yeah, we were taught the steps of service, right? And you were supposed to actually, there was a lot of things you're supposed to do that I still don't see it in San Francisco a lot that often. I see it way more in LA. Like when you go out in LA, I think the restaurants there have it on lock. But a lot of these, like,
run me through the steps of service.
Well, you're supposed to be at the table within 15 seconds of them sitting down, at least to say hi. If you can't,
How you doing? I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
The menu.
Right.
I'll bring some waters.
Then you come back. You're supposed to take an order, tell them about the specials.
Hand job.
Give them a little couple.
Brought you some jalapeno poppers.
If there's
just for
two
the hell
guys
of
on
it.
the other side of you, you fucking ski pole them a little bit. Ski pole. Slalom. Then you take their order. But there's an attentiveness that you're supposed to get, right? You're supposed to feel special when you go out to a meal. And there have been certain instances where I go to very, very, very popular restaurants in San Francisco where I feel like I'm putting them out for coming in. Where the service is like, oh, yeah, I'll get you something. And I'm like, well, this is a $300 meal I'm sitting down to, so put a little pep in the step. A little pep. But maybe take the one button down from the fucking denim shirt that you're wearing, the all denim Dan look that you got, and go get me a fucking Diet Coke. And don't tell me you don't have Diet Coke. Don't tell me it's some weird sort of like crazy organic soda. Diet Coke.
We were in fucking Austin just a second ago.
Hot. You were
I
like,
ordered
fuck.
a Coke, and they come back with some goddamn bullshit. It's like, it tastes like apple pie. I'm like,
To be
I didn't
fair,
order
it was
fucking apple
to be
pie.
fair, it was
soda.
really fucking
It was
good.
disgusting.
It was so good.
Was it that main root stuff or
No,
whatever?
it was even
No,
worse than that.
they make their
this
own.
place we went to. Psh,
What place?
I liked it a lot.
What is it
It's like
about
Daidu or some
food?
shit.
What
It's
is
called
it
Daidu.
about
It was
food
really
that
good.
turns people into assholes? And I've always felt like this because I've worked in retail all my life before iZombie, and I always stayed away from food service as a job just because coffee shops, if you fuck up an order, as opposed to I sold you the wrong game and need to do a return. Whenever you're messing with someone's food, they just turn ravenous, or the patience is just cut by half. And it always intimidated me. And I see it now. It's like you said with the Coke, it's like, hey, if I ordered a Coke and it comes back as a 7-Up, I mean, it's a quick fix. But there's a real kind of, I'm really put out with how you fucked my order up and have ruined my dinner. It's always scared me. I don't know how people
Well,
work in
so my
food
thing there
service.
though, well, first off, I didn't even react. I didn't care.
He didn't care.
I'm the type of person where it's like, I'm the opposite.
Oh,
of
no, I
Nick.
wasn't saying based on yours. I just mean in general, the whole food service thing.
But I also think the difference there is like you working at GameStop, like video games are a little bit different. Retail for clothes, I think clothes are just as bad.
I
as
did clothes as well.
Really?
I mean, the worst we had is just people taking shit to change rooms and then dropping it on the floor. And it's basically you're saying, you pick that up off the floor, put it back on a hanger and do it. Yeah. It still was never food service.
yeah.
Like someone screwing up your McDonald's order. and
It's
stuff,
because
the way-
I'm hungry when I go in for food
Yeah.
service.
There you go.
Your blood sugar's
And
low.
It's
I
hangry.
can't make the game. I can't make the clothes, but I could make the steak if I really wanted to. But I came out for a nice night and you fucked it up.
Yeah.
I do think that service, you're right. Service can be inconsistent. It's also the same way back home in New York. The service can be inconsistent, but restaurants that have great service, like we talk about Nopa a lot, which I still think is the best restaurant in San Francisco. Some people think the food isn't like astronomically good, but it's amazing. I think it's amazing food, but the service is like fucking through the roof good.
Yeah.
And like you're dealing with like 5 different people at a time. Like they'll just come, like everything's fine, everything's great, and I think that says a lot to the American culture of tipping. Although I do think that other countries have, like I've always given a lot of respect to Japan. The times I've gone to Japan, like I have a great, deep respect for that place. Just in the way they're honor based. The culture is very kind and considerate. There's like they engender a sort of, there's no violent crime in Japan. There's no litter in Japan. There's no like it's just weird coming from the United States, where it's like we have a significant violence problem here. We have a significant pollution problem in the United States. We have a lack of respect for everything around
People
us.
fucking putting bags of dog shit in people's cars.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
You can like
Maybe warranted, maybe not warranted. We don't know. We're gonna get to the bottom of that.
to me, Japan is like a place like we can learn a lot from in terms of honor. I remember the very first time I went there, exchange money for yen, and I remember I was with our friend Darren Brazil, and I remember the guy handing me my money on his tray and like handed it to me or whatever, and got up and bowed, and then sat back down in his chair, and I was like, and I bowed back, and I'm like, it seemed a little unnecessary, but I appreciate it. And then I started
showing you what's up.
And then I started noticing, like when I'm in the hotel lobby, like just dicking around, and in my times in Japan or whatever, like people, old friends seeing each other, meeting in Tokyo, whatever, bowing, deeper is like a sign of respect for 10, 15 seconds sometimes, as they're like so ecstatic to see each other. And how like the janitor has the same respect of a CEO, how like there's like a lot of Japan's economy is inefficient and stagnant. They give people what they call window facing jobs, like, which means when you get old or useless, they just basically throw you away, but they won't fire you. Like, so they have like this weird corporate structure that like holds them back. There's a lost generation of youth there because of it and stuff. There's definitely things that aren't working in Japan, but like the facade of it is like very welcoming, even though you can't talk to anyone, even though you can't understand. Like, there are a lot of people don't speak English there. It's definitely a place with a lot, and you have to kind of know what's going on. And I don't know. I always really respected the shit out of that. How you can walk into a ramen restaurant, no one can speak to you. You just point. They're fine with that. You exchange your money. You sit down. No one's looking at you sideways. No one's like being weird to you. Like, I don't know. It's I don't know. I will, like, I've gone to Europe, and it's in an interesting place, and I like it, but it's the United States.
I was going to ask you, if you guys have obviously been to London through work and stuff. What did you guys find? How did you find London?
Never been to London,
Never
unfortunately.
been to London.
Nope.
I drove through it for a flight. They put me.
serious?
Yeah, I
it's
want to
the
go.
one
It's
place
one
I
of the
haven't
places
been.
we really want to go.
So I don't have any opinion of it.
No way.
It's
us.
honestly my number one place. Christine and I talk about it all the time that we want to get there. We just haven't gotten there.
We're, as a company, we have to, and I've said this before, we have such a significant British fan base that it's imperative that we get to London, more than almost most places in the United States. Like, we can touch New York as many times as we want.
We get around the US.
Yeah, like, it's just like, we really should probably go to Western Europe. Like, we have a significant, just looking at our Patreon numbers and looking at our data, we have a lot of people in Europe, and like thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people, like just in London alone, like, and the surrounding areas, nonetheless, if they want to come over from France and Belgium, and we can do something in London.
We got to go to Nandos.
You haven't done Nandos.
No, I know the song.
There's one in
The
Washington.
service is going to be interesting for you guys. There's
Yeah,
no
see.
waiters. There's no waiters.
No waiters at
not-
Nandos? What do they do?
It's like McDonald's but fancy.
Okay.
So you just order a counter.
You order at the
Wait,
counter.
whoa.
What?
Now, the Cheeky Nando's music video has a waitress that comes over and asks, have you been to Nando's before?
Yeah.
To which he responds is, are you boff? Something like that.
Are you buff?
Are you mad? No.
Boff.
I'll have to
I haven't
think
seen the
that was
cheeky Nando's.
Oh my God.
But well,
I'll
no,
see- we'll
you
show
have,
that.
you have someone who shows you to your seat.
Okay.
It's the weirdest thing. So like, you walk into Nando's and they go, how many's at your table? With 2, 3, whatever. They'll take you to your table. You sit down, look at a menu, but you get back up and you go over and you order at the counter. And then they bring you sit back down.
Okay.
They bring
That's
the
weird.
food to you. It's all paid for. Then someone will come over and ask if everything's all right. They don't do anything. They'll just go, you go, yeah. And then they leave. And that's Nando's. Like, there's no service. But then again, tipping's weird because they're still doing a waiter job, but you're already paying before the service.
That's like Sizzler here.
I was gonna
Sizzler's
say,
fucking weird.
it sounds like Scissor.
I don't like that shit. And then Carl's Jr. is somewhere weird in the middle where
Don't
it's
talk
like,
shit about Carl's Jr.
well, Carl's
It's the best.
Jr.
Carl's
it's-
Jr. is McDonald's.
except they bring the food to
They
you.
do bring the food to you.
Oh, do
It's
they?
the only fast food place that
love
they
it.
bring the food to your table. They give
It's
you a little
respect.
number and you put it there.
Interesting.
It's weird.
Okay.
I ain't tipping them though.
Yeah, no.
You're not supposed to.
I've tipped at McDonald's.
Really?
What'd they do with it? Were they just like,
I fucking love
sir?
McDonald's. I'm so happy when I get there. I'm
You're like,
always
you know
like,
what? Fuck
yeah,
it.
if I get everything I want and quick, I'm like, yeah, here's an extra $5.
Have you been
man.
to? Have you seen the new McDonald's? What they're doing now?
No.
We walked into the one over in Stonestown, and you walk in and it's just screens.
Oh yeah, they
And
have
you're
that
like, this
in
is
Vancouver.
fucking weird. And I was like, at first I'm like, this is a weird
you don't
layout.
talk
This is
to
what the
anyone?
$15 minimum wage is going to get you, by the way, at all these places.
No, so there's
Just
still a
throwing that
counter if you want to
political
go
tidbit out there.
order, but it's weird. You walk in and we were like, I don't know where to go. It looks like you just like, it's like you're facing a wall and you look over and there's a bunch of like touch screens that you can go order off of. And then if you keep walking on the other side of the wall, there's like 4 registers and it's the standard service.
Jack in the Box has been doing that for years.
Have they?
Yeah, and it's the cool thing about it is that it allows you to customize in a way that you didn't even know was fucking possible before. Like, I'm never going to be the asshole standing at the counter being like, hey, I'm not Nick.
I'm that asshole.
Can I take this thing off? Can I add 3 of these things? Can I do whatever? But when you're at a touch screen and it's literally, it gives you options. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I can get Big Mac sauce on anything. I didn't know that I could just simply do this, and I would never ask for it.
And you can't give a bunch of gamers a screen with customizable options.
No, they're going to just sit there. They're making loadouts. They're just like...
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can toss us a few bucks, get every episode early, get a bunch of cool perks, get exclusives, and see Kevin naked. We need to post a naked photo of you.
Kevin,
if you
I'll
don't
take
have
it.
any money to toss, you can, of course, go to youtube.com/kindafunny where the entire show, post topic by topic, day by day, until it's up as one big free MP3 and video. Raul. Fuck this CW show. Stay here.
I'll do it.
This is great.
iZombie lost me. Thank you for having me, guys. Honestly, it was an
Your
absolute
Twitter's been
pleasure.
up
Thank you.
nonstop. Everybody tweet at whoever we said to tweet at about Star Wars. When
Did we choose?
I don't think we
No,
chose.
well, we got to do that afterwards. That's something we got to
Figure it out.
we gotta
That's probably
figure
me,
out.
Kathleen Kennedy.
And then, okay,
Dave Filoni.
if she does she have a Twitter? You think?
No, let's
Probably
get Dave Filoni. We'll
Okay.
do Rebels.
Okay, cool.
Voice for Rebels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Fuck
Did
it.
I miss a
Yeah,
We're just going to throw it in there somewhere.
somewhere.
Cool.
We'll figure it out.
Don't worry about
first
it.
topic?
And then when can people watch iZombie?
Our finale is on at Tuesday, starting a little earlier. It's a 2-hour special on the CW.
So the upcoming Tuesday?
Yeah, this is our 2-episode finale.
So last week you could have
you
watched
could have watched it last week.
Damn
But we're
it.
still on Netflix.
Hey, there you go. Netflix is
yeah.
easy. You can buy the Blu-rays and stuff.
Or do your illegal stuff that
no,
I know everyone
no,
does.
don't do that.
That's
Because we don't air in London, and I know we got London fans. So how are you lot watching it?
How are you?
Yeah, that's my
Watch it.
royalties there. fuck.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.